that way. Okay.
Congratulations. I'm
Yeah.
gonna
You
check
hit
on my phone
5,000
because
buttons and I'm still upside down.
I clicked 5,000 buttons. And stuff. But hello,
I'm
chat.
surprised. But you didn't walk 5,000 miles.
I was like,
No.
I'm gonna fly like 500 miles.
And I will fly 500 miles, and I
I
will fly
fly
500 more.
500 more.
Okay, can you
The
guys see
only
us in
song in
chat?
repeat. The only song in ever loving history where you can actually hear a Scottish accent
Yes, I
I
love it.
know,
being
yeah.
sung. It's very strange.
Um, chat, are you there and can you hear us? I might have hit a button that messed us up.
Are you like Jeremy Clarkson? I did a thing.
I did a
I
thing.
did a thing.
Danker says, "Yep, all the way, the right way round too." Okay, so my little hack
Okay.
worked. Yeah,
Fantastic.
Ginny, if you're there,
She is.
Mike's window did the same exact thing that yours did. He's actually upside down. I had to manually flip it. So it's
So
a
if you know what the
Discord
remedy
thing.
is, please let me know.
Yeah,
What's the fix?
yeah. We never figured out a fix, so except for me manually flipping it. So,
I mean, I am getting dizzy here. The blood's rushing to my head. So.
You're Batman. You're now Batman.
I've now got to try and find out how I can have the streamer open with the chat so I can see Mike the right way around.
Yes.
Rather than constantly upside down.
But anyway, chat, how are you doing? Hello, Nana. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Dinker. Thank you for being here already. That's amazing. We went a little bit earlier today. Sencho has arrived.
Of course.
Guten Abend, Sencho. Wie geht es Ihnen?
I saw Sencho earlier streaming, and he was not playing a fighting game. It was disgraceful.
I'm shocked, I tell you. Shocked.
That's taking the right.
Shocked.
Oh!
Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
We're recording now, aren't we? That's taking the right, Mickey.
No, we're not recording just yet. You can inhibit all the
okay.
swears you like.
So wait.
Okay.
So
probably best to get them all that now. Yeah.
Just driving a taxi cab. Does that mean you were doing taxi cab simulator? Because I want to hear about that.
Crazy Taxi. Remastered HD part 2.
Exactly. I'm doing nothing. You didn't see any of that.
Yes. Drinking. I didn't see anything. I did hear a pop though.
Let's see. Nana says, I don't know what happened.
I don't know if it's because I've been upside down for so long, but Pete is starting to blur.
Yeah, Pete, you're getting even more blurrier. Stay in the
No,
foreground.
I've blurred my background because I got washing on. I might just change it anyway because it's going to get
hanging from the ceiling.
This is a
It's fine. You'll just be able to see a towel in the background. Look. There you go.
We are so prepared for today.
It's all right because I'm just inhibiting the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Just remember that I've got to take a towel everywhere.
And I've got puffy eyes. True. I've got puffy eyes, so that's what I'm bringing to the table. Nana says, "Hello, words. I'm here." Centro says it's called Backpack Battles. It's a fighting game.
What he likes to say.
And then Danker. Oh, it's Danker. Danker was dry. God, Danker and Centro are both red, and my brain keeps mixing them up. Danker said, yes, I am. Oh, very good. Jenny says, fuckleberries, which I like that word. Danker says it's a really good simulator. You'll see what I mean tomorrow night. Yes, I believe Mags is streaming it tomorrow night. And then Jenny sends a heart to everyone. And Cincho says, hey there, Mike. Gives you a fist bump. Hey, bueno, Brent. And then
howdy, Brent.
How are we all doing this evening? And Jenny says, you guys look beautiful, which is so sweet.
I need a shave, honestly. It's disgusting.
You both look great. Cincha says, also, I told you I can't play T8 on stream. Tekken 8.
I'm aware. I was actually in his stream earlier for a little bit whilst my internet held up at work.
Oh, right.
I know. I got a. You're not playing a fighting game on stream. You're taking the piss.
That's right.
Yeah, I got in there. Don't worry, that's fine. There we go.
And
I've
then
done it now. I did a thing.
you did a thing. I'm gonna redeem this right quick. So here's the funny thing. I tried that new internet viral sensation lip gloss that you put on your lips. It's supposed to make your lips puff up and be like all
Okay.
yeah. And all it feels like is I just rubbed a jalapeno on my lips. So
I'm on fire!
like you see all the people like they're crying and all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, it's not that bad. It's nice. It was warming.
Well, it's lagging on my side of the stream, so I'm gonna close this down. This is annoying.
Yes.
I'm just gonna have the upside down window.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, that's all right. Jenny says she was getting out her swears. I love that swears. It was great.
Good swears.
Yeah. Mike is sus. I spotted them.
What was the swears? Fuckleberries, was it?
Yes.
Sus, pretty sus. They're always among us.
Look at that. They are among us. That's true. Yes, and then Jenny says panda farts. But she forgot the greatest insult and swear of all, which is you dirty emu farmer. And
Good
then,
evening, you emu farmers.
oh, piss banana, says Cincho.
What the hell else did I miss on Friday night when I decided to wander off?
Oh, Pete, it got pretty raunchy. For those who don't know, since we're not recording yet, I'll go ahead and big up myself. But I'm trying to get affiliate, so I'm streaming some games over on my channel, which is just KILAY_WILDE. And ooh, buddy, Friday got a little pervy. That was supposed to be our Fortnite stream, and the Fortnite servers were down for like 2 days.
Brilliant.
So instead, we played a knockoff Cards Against Humanity game. Oh goodness. It just says I'm more of an emo farmer myself. God, I love emos. Because that was me. I have an embarrassing picture that I'll probably need to show at some point. Of emo
I think I might have already seen it.
I'm pretty sure I've shown you, yeah.
I mean, you've seen me with my incredibly long metal hair anyway, so it's fine.
I think that's what we were doing. We were showing our embarrassing younger days.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
I mean, where my hair is, like, I could have given hair to my brother and still had more than enough hair for myself.
OMG, it all makes sense now. Emo twinks. Oh yes, that was an era. Oh.
Right, I will be back in a moment.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
There's Sinjo. There's your redeem. Jenny says, OMG, I need to see Pete with metal hair. I think next week I'll try and get those pictures dug out and I'll flash them up. Yeah, her younger embarrassing pictures. Oh, goodness. Yep. Chat, have y'all been playing anything this week? Because that's what we're going to talk about. It's what we've been playing. Didn't see it.
No, I haven't
done it yet.
just in case my camera goes. I'm just seeing if there's anything I can do to make it flip the right way.
Yeah.
Because
I will look into that afterwards. I can't believe it's definitely
it's weird.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
Sorry, Mike, can you say a little bit more, please? I didn't get you in the last recording.
Can I say a little bit more? You didn't get me in the last recording. Oh dear. Now you want me to talk. The problem's not getting me to talk, it's getting me to shut up.
That's why you're
No,
on
I just needed to hear your levels. Thank you, I'll be back in a minute.
Do let me know if it's okay, because obviously I'm not using a mic or anything this time.
Oh, you sound great. Yeah. Well,
sound great. Okay.
On my end. Obviously that's not the recording end. But for me it's great.
Okay. Because I know I've used a couple of headphones in the past, and it's not been great.
It gets a little bit muddled or whatever, but you're coming through clear right now.
Okay then. I'm just upside down. Who knew? I had to be upside down for it to work clearly. Here we go.
It's so weird. Let's see.
I'm
Tinker.
trying to look on what's it? 2 ways to flip camera on disc, flip or rotate. Well, all I want is to stop it from being upside down.
Kylie, you shouldn't have done that.
What did I do?
Why is my Discord camera showing me upside down? It mirrors, but no, it's just weird. Okay. Oh, I'll stop looking that up on Google then. It's not what helping.
Dinker, I can see you now. Thank you for that. Jenny says that Mike has a nice flower hat.
Nice. Oh, thank you. I'm trying to hide the light because otherwise it's too bright.
Yes. Nana said something about Yakuza 0. I might have something to say about Yakuza soon.
Yeah.
You've started the stream?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
No. Kylie, there was a reason why I took that picture for you last night, but I'll get into that in a moment.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Well, I might just say a little bit of it now. I might have bought something for my PS5.
That's the cover. Yeah.
There you go. That's perfect, Mike.
Might fit in with later. Ooh, boost your gaming storage.
Ooh, nice.
980.
So I've now got a 2 terabyte SSD expansion in the PS5. And I've now installed every Yakuza game on it. It is my dedicated Yakuza hard drive.
That's amazing. Big Jesse asked, is Mike using a Lenovo camera?
No, it's a Samsung A12.
Yes. Oh yeah, because it's your phone, isn't it?
My phone, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what. Yeah, because Jenny was using her phone. That's It seems to be a mobile issue.
Wow.
And then Danker says he can't wait to hear your thoughts on that, Pete. Centra said I grinded that game hard and then just fell off. Yeah.
Danker, you might not have to hear my thoughts on it. I'll get into it. You might be able to see and hear my thoughts on it going forward.
And actually, here's the funny thing, Danker, because this happened to both Jenny and Mike. When you flip the phone, the image keeps staying upside down. It's just weird.
I'm currently in Australia at the moment.
Yes, apparently. It's just a weird Discord quirk, I think.
Can you go and check your toilet, please?
Why is it swirling counterclockwise? Maybe that's the reason.
You're in Australia the whole time. But yeah.
Yeah, dinkum.
You got a dingo outside your window.
A dingo ate my baby.
I do indeed, mate. I do indeed.
Throw another shrimp in Barbie.
Another shrimp indeed. Oh yes, matey.
Apparently they say prawns and not shrimp.
Prawns, yeah.
So
yeah, I saw. Where did I see that on? I watched that video the other day on YouTube. Like,
Jenny was the one that told me on my stream.
Probably.
I can't hear anyone talking about prawns without thinking of District 9.
Oh my goodness. I bet he would do a tasty giant prawn. I actually like that movie quite a bit.
It's a brilliant movie. That guy should have made the Halo movie like he was supposed to.
Yeah. But
before he made Chappie.
Oh, I couldn't watch. I just couldn't make it through.
Any movie with Deanne Wood in it is just like, yeah, fucking do one.
But Sencho, go back and watch my VOD on my channel, and you can hear not just Jenny, but Big Jesse doing flawless Australian accents.
you might also get a minor cameo from me putting in chat some really weird stuff.
Yep. But anyway, Pete, I'm gonna drink some, and we'll start when Mike gets back.
I think I need to redeem a hydrate anyway.
Yeah, you do. You do. Let's see.
That'd be too dark now for me. No, that is too.
Remember, what's the worst that can happen?
Yes.
Man.
Mike looks all serious and stuff. Like we're about to do some hardcore journalism. Yeah.
I see a Mr.
I
Ober in the chat. I haven't seen him for a while.
I like that. Oh yes, hello, Jonathan. Hey, it's Mike Tindo, friend of the show. Yes, it is.
Hey, Jono.
And yes,
it's my colonial brother.
How are the colonies these days? Jesse says apparently there's a bug with Discord mobile on landscape mode, which that kind of verifies
that would make sense. Shall we hold off for a moment because you've snoozed all of those, so we've got an ad break coming in a minute.
Again?
Yeah, because you keep snoozing them.
Oh my gosh. I
was trying to say let's
breaks.
hold off for a while.
I will do my best to try and look into like why are they doing
It's
them
Twitch.
I know, but it's like really back to back, and I get it, but it's a bit much,
Yeah,
you know.
I know it was snoozed for 5 minutes.
Okay, well, we'll let this.
Oh yeah.
Apologies to anyone who's not subbed. I'm just gonna drink, so you're not
more
missing
reason
anything.
to go and sub.
Hydrate.
Jonathan says we still have the tea and taxes, I guess.
I mean, does Lipton's really count as tea?
Lipton's is good when it's done right, and it's not that bottled lemon crap. That stuff is so terrible. It's so bad.
No.
It's so when about Long Island iced tea, in it?
Yeah. When I went to Las Vegas, I'm a notorious tea drinker. I forgot to take tea bags with me. I just refused to drink a cup of tea until I got home.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Which was terrible.
I don't think you're allowed to ask for a tea bag these days because it means something else now.
Very good.
Especially when you go to Vegas. If I remember correctly, there was a scene in The Hangover, and he says, "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, except crabs. That comes back with you," or something like that.
Yes, that is true, and that's a great movie.
Cintra says anything with more than 5 grams of sugar per 100 milliliters is terrible. Garbo, I agree with you. Jonathan says we have more than just Lipton. I couldn't even tell you when I last drank a Lipton.
I mean, importation is probably a lot better than it was quite a few years ago.
We have decent tea, but it's hard because I'm from the South and we drink iced tea. So.
Well, it's because it's hot as the sun there, so that makes sense.
I drank hot tea last night, and Max was like, "Oh boy, now we've got you hooked." I don't know. I only had 1 cup, so I don't know if I'm hooked yet.
1 cup is all you need.
Oh, when you're feeling down, it picks you right up.
I was freezing, so I was like, I can't drink coffee because it's like, 10 o'clock at night or whatever. I was like, I'll drink tea. So I did.
But yeah, tea would have also achieved the same principle because there is quite a lot of caffeine in tea as well.
Yeah, but it's not as much as coffee. I was,
Everyone thinks this, but it's actually a misconception.
Is it really?
There is about the same amount in a tea bag as there is in coffee.
That can't be right. What?
I just don't think it hits you as much as it does coffee. But then again, I'm quite a big tea drinker myself, so I could have 3-4 cups of tea and it just does not affect me. I could have a cup of coffee and I'll be up all night. So
thank you, Jesse. Thank you very much.
Really? Also, Jonathan, sadly, we read his post and he just ended up in an ad reel and missed everything we just said. But we did talk about tea mostly, Jonathan.
We did.
Yeah. Something to do with Boston.
Yeah, and a party. Yeah.
I'll never forgive you Yankos for that absolute travesty.
Wait, I'm pretty sure. Tea.
But I'm also pretty sure the Chinese will never forgive us for stealing tea.
Well, that too.
No.
Jenny says,
opium.
Yeah, that's true. Steal all the opium. But Jenny says, I can't drink tea before Bedfordshire.
Would have been better if you said Yorkshire.
Sure, whatever you guys, however guys you say
sponsored by Yorkshire rather than PG.
Yorkshire. And Danker goes, and that was Facts with Pete, sponsored by PG Tips.
Just a tip.
Why isn't that their tagline? It should be. Sinjo says, speaking of drinks, German beer is mostly bad, and the best beer out there is Kirin Ichiban. That's Japanese.
Ichiban.
Japanese. Yeah. That is nice. That is quite nice.
You said Ichiban. It's Ichiban.
I'm sorry, Ichiban. I can't even speak English.
Ichiban.
Jesse says, I have just Googled, and Pete isn't quite right. It's about 4-1. I don't know what that exactly means. Does it mean coffee has 4 more times caffeine than tea? So if I drank 4 cups of coffee, it would equal 1 cup. No, 4
No, other
cups
way
of
round.
tea, it would equal 1 cup of coffee.
Yeah, but okay, so maybe my ratios were incorrect. It's not quite the same,
Right.
but everyone seems to think that tea doesn't have a lot of caffeine in it, which is absolute nonsense. Which is why you get decaf tea bag.
It's probably you have to drink 4 cups of tea to get the same effect of caffeine as coffee, but you'd have to drink 4 cups of coffee to get the same stain on your teeth as tea.
There you go.
Very true. Right, should we start the show after these last 2 comments?
Yes, I was going to say, but I do want to read what Jonathan said. Hey, if your buns are itching, you got something in Vegas and you need to see a doctor.
So he was listening.
Remember that shit followed you back.
Oh, dear. And then Jesse says 100 milligrams of caffeine and coffee, 25 milligrams
Milligreens.
caffeine and tea. I'm so glad I don't talk for a living. Yes, Pete.
Says the near professional streamer.
Exactly. You want to count
Right.
me in? 192,
Cool.
correct?
192.
Okay.
3, 2.
Welcome to Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast, episode 192. I am your co-host, Kiley Wilde. I am joined by my ever-present co-host, Pete Beckett.
Hello.
And a very special guest, friend of the show, Mike Tendo.
Oh,
Hello. And you should come see him in his cute little Mario hat over on twitch.tv/Rapid Reviews.
As the time of recording is March 10th, i.e. Mario Day.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you said that.
woohoo!
That's probably what we should call it. But yes, so we have a very good show today. It was a little bit of a substitute show because we're still working on a pretty big news story.
I'll get into that in a bit.
Excited about. I won't give anything away. But what I like to do is I like to start off every week asking our wonderful guest and us, but mostly our guests, how their week's been and what they've been playing. Mike, how's your week been and what have you been playing?
I would like to say I've been playing a lot, but I haven't really. Mind you, I have been playing the demo for Princess Peach Showtime, so that technically counts as playing something. So that was I'm quite looking forward to it. It does seem like a very easy game, but it's nice to just take a break and not have to play something so grueling and challenging all the time.
Yeah.
And especially when like reviewing a lot of games and review it like you guys know, playing a lot of games that can be of all kinds of genres, and a lot of them being like roguelikes or being particularly difficult and challenging being their whole shtick.
Yes.
It's nice to be able to play something that's just easy going and fun. So I'm really looking forward to that, and hopefully when the game comes out, I should be able to have some more to talk about it next week, but I can't say anything more. Not me personally, obviously, but Jack, he will be he'll have plenty more to say about that.
I may have something to say about that next week as well, but we'll get into that in possibly.
Yep.
Maybe it's the same thing.
I think
but we can't talk more about that. Well, maybe in the after show when we're not recording.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'll shoot a DM over to you about that, Mike, anyway, and then we can try and convert something.
No worries. But as for other games and that, I've not really been playing much. Now, I have published a couple of reviews this week, but mainly because I've already been playing the games last week, and I've just been so busy this week, I've not had any time to actually play anything. With studying to become an electrical technician, as you guys know, unfortunately, as much as I would love to be, working and reviewing games full time as a full time job, it doesn't pay the bills, so not always. So I'm studying to become an electrical technician, and then later in the afternoon, I had to do a health and safety course, and on top of that, I had to do a course about working at heights. And we was meant to actually go up a 5-meter platform and be suspended from a harness. But because it rained, I didn't have to. So I still got the course, but I didn't have to actually go up and dangle myself over.
Oh my gosh.
That seems a bit terrible making you read at 5 meter height.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, it's terrible if you drop your book at any point.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly, especially for those that might be underneath. They might get a bad paper cut or something. 40 kilometers an hour or something.
Oh, I'm terrified of heights. That
Oh,
is not a joke.
yeah.
Yeah, no fun for me.
Yeah.
No, I am not a big fan. So I'm got no problems working at heights as long as I don't look down. I've worked on ladders before, and in fact, I have actually shocked the health and safety officer at the time, who was a fireman. And he says, "Have any of you ever worked up a ladder?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I've worked up ladders a number of times, especially over 3 meters or 4 meters." And he says, "Did you make sure that it was properly secured down, or got a counterweight underneath it so it's not going to slide?" And yes, yes. "And what about supporting it at the top so it doesn't go left or right?" And you go, "Well, no." "And did you wear a harness?" And I went, "No." And he's like, "Well, what did you do while you was up there? Pray that you didn't fall?" And I said, "Well, pretty much."
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Like I'm starting to pop my knuckles. That's how nervous I am.
Anyway, enough about me.
Oh my gosh. Well, Jonathan says you don't need to see the other Nintendos to understand and appreciate my Nintendo. And
I love you, Jonathan. You're like a brother to me.
yeah. And he also says check out Expeditions, a Mud Runner game, X Play on
Nice.
MyNintendo64.com. Yeah. Oh, Centro says heights are my nemesis as well as flights. The first time I flew in 25 years was to see my now wife. Wow, Centro.
Worth it.
Well, yeah, I would definitely say that. But yeah. So Pete, what about you? How's your week been? What you been playing?
Well, it's been a busy week for me because I've been working this weekend, unfortunately, so I haven't had a lot of time to game. I did, over the course of the week, whilst working from home, got a couple of extra hours in playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Right.
So I am not going to spoil where I am at the moment because I've had about 3 different boss fights that have occurred within the last couple of hours.
Oh gosh.
2 of them are good, and 1 of them is not so good.
Interesting.
And one particular area that I was in wasn't particularly good either. It wasn't overly fun. Felt a bit grindy.
Right. Interesting.
I'm trying to stay as non-spoiler as possible. It's quite difficult. I mean, if you know the original game, you'll probably know roughly where I am. But yeah, I'm still gonna mirror the sentiments from last week. It feels a bit bloated. It feels a bit padded. For unnecessary reasons. I'm about 9 hours in, and I've barely made it any further than I needed to be. One of the bosses that I did. If you know the original game, after the Chocobo farm, you probably know exactly where I was. That fight was kind of fun.
Right.
There was also another fight within the area afterwards that I actually really enjoyed. That actually was a lot more difficult than I was expecting it to be. The combat is still a lot of fun, still really enjoy it. I didn't change my mind from remake. I thought the combat system was probably the best part about it. The story is it's I'm considering possibly dropping it soon, but I want to see it through as much as I can. But
Right. Okay.
I'm not. I don't think I'm enjoying this as much as I thought I was going to.
Oh, that's disappointing to hear. Yeah.
But I've still played 8 hours of it, so clearly something's there. Clearly, the combat system is enjoyable enough. I might see it through a little bit further and see how I go, but I've got a few other things on my plate at the moment. One that I can talk about next week, of course.
Yes.
And I recently just bought a new SSD for my PS5, and I've got Yakuza currently installed across it. So, yeah, the Yakuza 0 playthrough on this channel might start very, very, very soon.
I'm looking forward to
And
that.
by very soon, I mean in the next week.
Oh, very good. Very good, Pete. Very good.
I'm really looking forward to that. It is a game that I have started but not finished before. And I only got a couple of hours in, and I was like, I probably should play more of this at another point and just never got around to it. So follow the journeys of as the Dragon of Dojima rises.
Well,
But Kylie, anyway,
oh, yes.
how's your week been?
Me too.
Because you've probably got a lot to talk about.
Well, you never know what's going to come out of my mouth. But I did want to say, Jonathan said, you read that wrong, 9 Tendos. So what I was supposed to say was you don't need to see the other 9 Tendos to understand and appreciate Mike Tendo. Oh, goodness.
I mean, even I.
You are a gentleman and a scholar, Jonathan.
Well, this week I've been working a lot on my personal channel and doing my little side podcasts over there, which we'll, plug at the end of the show. But as far as games go, so on Wednesday, yes, with Mags's channel, we played Hawked, which is it's free to play, but it's like, how do they describe it? Fortnite meets Indiana Jones. So it's like, it's kind of battle royale-ish almost, but you're solving puzzles and trying to get to the treasure before everyone else does, which I think is actually a really kind of cool, mechanic in there. The shooting is so balanced. Like, I had no complaints about the shooting, which is crazy because I'm always whinging and complaining on FPSs because I love FPSs, and I hate the TTP or whatever. If it's like laggy and stuff, and this was just like boom, boom, boom. I had no complaints about that. The guns are great. There's a great variety of it. It's kind of a looter shooter in a way, and it's kind of an extraction multiplayer in a way, because there is kind of like a capture the flag almost.
Yeah.
It's a lot of different things, and it looks good. So I think it's cool if people want to try it. It is free to play, and yes, of course you can get the battle pass and do the whole battle pass thingy. But then on Thursday, I played, yes, again with Mag's channel, Outlast Trials.
Nice.
Yeah.
Outlast. Ooh.
Yeah.
As in the Outlast series.
Yes, as in the Outlast series. Yeah, exactly. Let me say this one thing that Jesse says about Hawked. It's got that Modern Warfare vibe of going and doing missions and then extracting. Exactly. That. With real players and bots. And yes, Danker was playing with us. So Danker was on, we were on a team with Danker. So treasure hunting, puzzler, Fortnite. It was almost perfect. Yes, agreed. Okay, so yes, them Outlast Trials, as Jonathan says, Outlast Trials said in a Texas accent, 10 out of 10. Which is funny that you say that, because one of the bad guys, he's from, now, it says he's from Oklahoma, because I went and looked it up, but he's clearly using a Texas accent. He's a big old cop, and he shocks you. Anyway, so Outlast Trials, if you don't like horror, you're not going to like this. You're just not,
Is that the game that Jenny was talking about earlier in Mags's Discord?
It could be. I might have missed it. I might have missed that.
Well, Jenny can put that in the chat if she wants.
Okay. But I'm gonna be very, very, very perfectly honest here, and you can tell if you ever go back and watch the VOD. Horror games don't scare me. I wish they did. But they don't. No, but I love the Outlast series because I love the lore.
Yeah.
Lethal Company.
Lore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah. Now I'll just tell you right straight up. I prefer the lore of Outlast to Resident Evil, because Resident Evil has so many alternate realities, and it's hard to follow it. So for me, it goes Outlast lore, Silent Hill lore, and then Resident Evil, because it's very hard for me to follow alternate universes and all that kind of stuff. Outlast
It's actually just reminded me of something, but I'll get back to that in a minute.
But
Hold on. You struggle with multiple and alternate universes, even though you're a big
Marvel fan.
superhero buff.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Like, it's weird because like the Resident Evil, there's not a lot of logic to their alternate universes. And it splits off, and I'm like, wait, I can't follow. But don't get me wrong, I still play Resident Evil. Oh, Janker's lurking. Bye.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jenny's talking about Lethal Company, which is an interesting game if you've not heard of it. Lethal Company was developed by a single developer.
Mhm.
It took off like crazy on Twitch. Not so much for the game itself, which, okay, again, it could be scary. I'm not the right person to comment on scary games. But when you get like a group of people playing, much like Outlast Trials, it's just pure chaos and it can be more funny than scary. Which, to me, there were a lot of parts in Outlast Trials that were hilarious. Yeah, I won't say them because it might get me banned on Twitch because it is quite graphic, but it was still funny. But yeah, apparently you can do a solo mode, so I'll probably go back through and try and do that. And then they do challenges every week because people were talking about the replayability of Outlast Trials isn't very high, except that it does seem to be. They do put out weekly challenges, and then like if holidays are coming around, like they do a Halloween thing or Christmas thing, you know what I mean? So I guess it just depends on what you consider as replayability. And then Sincho says it's Lethal Company is somewhat scary, but what playing Lethal Company for are the hilarious situations you get into. Yes, because it's procedurally generated, so it's random every single time. And Jenny says the echoes of chat and Lethal Company are awesome. Yes. It is quite funny. To me anyway. But let me run through my brain and make sure that's all I played this week because I've been playing a lot of games. Well, okay, actually, I did play Bad Cards with Jesse and Jenny, which if you're looking for a browser-based game for a group of people, maybe if you're sitting around drinking, I do.
Which you were.
Yeah, which I was. Well, actually, no, I don't drink on my personal streams. That's a personal goal I've had, is to not drink on
So
them.
you're just unprofessional on a professional podcast.
Yes. But it's a Cards Against Humanity.
Kiley's character. She has to
That's right.
drink on the
That's my
on the
persona.
podcast.
That's right.
Exactly.
It's the
Either
Kylie
that or
Wilde
it's the only
persona.
way. Either that or it's the only way she can get through a conversation with me.
Oh, maybe it's that, Pete. No, not at all. No.
I don't blame her.
Yes. Jesse says, I was too innocent for Bad Cards. I wouldn't normally be going, oh, go to check out my channel. No, you really should go watch the VOD. It's hilarious. It's quite a little risque. Because it is Cards Against Humanity, but called Bad Cards. And I'm forced to say some words I've never said probably out loud ever. And I love forcing my two teammates to say words out loud so that it's there forever in the internet, because the internet doesn't forget. Sinjo says,
not safe for children.
no, it is not. Sinjo says, I'm kind of butthurt when devs that have this giant influx of money don't hire more devs to get more content going, which is kind of what's happening with LC. Is it really? Interesting. Jonathan says, legally drinking. RRUK does not condone the use of alcohol by minors. It's true. That's
Also,
very
like
over
buildings.
in the UK, Jonathan, you have to be over 18 to drink legally.
true.
Not like in the US where it's over 21. And in some states, it's still dry.
That's true. Yeah, where I'm from is dry state. Oh, Jesse, I love rude sober Kylie. Yeah, sober Kylie's quite rude and raunchy. Oh God, he says that's because miners have to operate heavy machinery. Okay, wait.
And
Can we
that
just-
was also because my poor joke was missed.
Oh, what'd you say, Pete?
Well, he said don't condone use of alcohol by minors. I said also builders.
Oh, Pete, I missed it. I have to say, when I first,
I can't see the chat, so
Aw.
you have to let me know these things.
Yeah, I'll have to. The first time I saw Galaxy Quest, I went and saw it in the theaters. Yes, I am
Yes.
that old. I nearly laughed my rear end off when he was like, "Miners, not miners." Alan Rickman. I thought that was the greatest. That's one of my favorite movies, hands down. I encourage you, if you've not seen it, go watch it. It's such a good little spoof on our little nerddom way, and I just love it. Love it, love it, love it.
It's got Alan Rickman in it, so
And
it's always a
right.
good role.
Exactly.
Right.
And then there's like crewmate number 5 in it. It was like, is it Sam Rockwell or something? But he's just like started as crewmate number 5.
It's like, I'm just psyched to be here, man. I love it so much. But anyway, so that wraps us up for the week, which is great because we're gonna crack on and go on. What?
I was going to say just quickly that I've actually I did pick up 3 new games this week. I say new.
Okay.
Kind of.
Yeah.
My local game shop is shutting down.
Oh no, that's
So
sad to hear.
And moving into a Sports Direct.
No, it's not actually.
Yes, probably.
Oh, even worse.
That's what happens over here.
So the game shop that I've had in my town that used to be EB, that used to then be Game, and all that is actually finally shutting down for the first time in my life.
Oh wow.
Which sucks. So they've been selling some cheap games, so that's why I said I'll come back to Resident Evil. I bought Resident Evil 8 for £5.
Oh, nice.
Result.
Yep, I also
PS5?
bought. Yep, I also bought Deathloop for the PS5 for £5.
Oh, you can't beat that. You can't beat that.
And a copy of King of Fighters 15.
Oh.
The PS4 version comes with the PS5 upgrade, so that was also a £5.
That
Brilliant.
reminds me, Pete, what we were talking about earlier in the week, and I will show chat, and Mike should be able to see it too, because he can see me.
Yeah.
I'm not very smart right now, but anyway, I actually sent these photos to Pete. So if you have been following along in the news, the PS5 Slim has been dropped. Yeah, the price was dropped here in the UK, and it was dropped to, I think, $408. A weird kind of off kilter amount. So I walked into CEX, and this is what they're selling the PS5 Slim for. Let's see, will that come through? Probably
£475 for the audio.
Yeah. And so I was like, wow, okay, so CEX is still over. Now it's a used one. So I went over to Cash Converters, which is where I like to hang out.
Cash Converters.
And they are selling it
$399.
Yeah. So just go buy a new one. Just don't let them catch up. They're not there yet. Just buy a new one if you're going after a PS5 Slim. But I did also show this to Pete and you guys, and Cincho, you'll probably also know this better than I will, which is King of Fighters on sale.
Hell yeah.
For
King of Fighters EX, £99.
Yeah.
And Mickey's Magical Quest on the GBA as well.
For also $99, which I remember playing.
Can I bring this up? Apparently Sencho's taking this personally, because I didn't buy Tekken 8. I have got someone that works in game who's keeping me a copy aside for when it does go down in price. So don't worry, Sencho. When it goes down to a respectable price in there before they shut, I will be buying it.
About £5.
Maybe not £5, but at least half off.
Oh goodness. Earlier I said that Cincho was lurking. I keep getting Cincho and Danker confused. Even though Danker has changed his handle's color, it's Danker that was lurking. I like what Cincho says.
Don't worry, Sencho. I will stream it myself. So your computer doesn't melt and you have any excuses.
I do. I want to see Cincho and Pete fighting. I want to see that. Games.
I mean, he has already kicked my ass at Street Fighter 6 anyway.
I love it. That's great. But anyway. So we're gonna move on to the meat of the show.
God, 23 minutes in, we're only just moving into the news story.
I know. That's why I was like, we'll go ahead and move things along. But Pete has, like I said, we had another idea for a show. That idea is actually still being baked.
It's cooking.
It's cooking. Let him cook. Because it's gonna be a
It's
big
still
one.
in the incubator.
Yes, it is in the incubator. It's going to be a very. I'm looking forward to it. Put it that way. Uh,
Yeah.
Pete's giggling. Has someone said
I
something in
said that. I
chat?
said that was poor. That was so poor.
Oh goodness. The incubator.
It was poor.
I liked it.
No, I get what you mean. You know what it is. So you know what. Yeah. Okay.
Jenny says, "Cook that meat." But Pete
Now
has.
I'm just thinking of what's his name from Austin Powers? I want Matt. Yeah,
What,
I
mom,
won't
My
say
baby
it.
baby
back,
back,
baby
baby
back,
back,
baby
baby
back.
back,
Baby
baby
back,
back
baby back,
ribs.
baby back, baby back.
I ate
Ribs.
a
That's
baby.
another teaser for you.
I eat because I'm unhappy, and
I'm
I'm unhappy
unhappy
because I
because I
eat.
eat. Oh, y'all just caught
Just
my
say
Scottish
good.
accent.
Right, come on, guys. Serious face. All right,
Uh-huh.
serious,
Okay.
Yeah.
serious mood because the
Mm-hmm.
mood is
Somber.
gonna go down to very somber for the news because this week it was announced that legend of anime and video games
Yes.
Akira Toriyama suddenly passed away on the 1st of March.
Yes. So,
This was quite a shock.
very
Yeah.
much. Do you have any insight onto what's gonna happen with Dragon Ball Z, Pete? Let us know.
No idea, but let's go for a news story from VGC.
Mm-hmm.
This will be like with all stories, it will be linked in the chat or linked in the show notes. So, influential Japanese manga artist Akira Toriyama, who is best known for the Dragon Ball series, has passed away at the age of 68 from an acute subdural hematoma.
Oof. Brain aneurysm.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So this was a statement that came out from Bird Studio and Capsule Corporation Tokyo. It's our deep regret that he still had several works in the middle of creation with great enthusiasm. Also, he would have had many more things to achieve. However, he has left many manga titles and works of art to this world.
Oof.
So
That's a big legacy. He has a
um,
very large legacy.
yeah, it was announced on I believe it was the 8th of March. Obviously, there's a few days, about a week afterwards, because there was a very small service for relatives that they had before the announcement went live, because there are Dragon Ball or anime fans all across the world who probably would have flooded to Tokyo to try and attend the service. So understandable, but it's apparently currently in the works that they're going to try and get a memorial going for him somewhere in Japan, but it's unsure where that's going to be just yet. So, for those who were very unsure about what his contributions were to nerd culture, obviously Dragon Ball, but he was also involved in the art for Dragon Quest, Chrono Trigger, and Blue Dragon, just to name a few.
Oh, yeah.
But the Dragon Ball series has been this everlasting legacy because he's had over 100 different video games spanning from, platformers to fighting games to RPGs and everything. There's been so much Dragon Ball. I'm just gonna say that I'm not a Dragon Ball fan. I've never really watched it, to be honest. I've not played a lot of Dragon Quest or anything like that. But obviously, his influence is felt everywhere because you've seen Dragon Ball everywhere, and it's got fans everywhere. It's a cultural phenomenon.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So this was a huge loss, and this is one of the very few times that I've seen on Twitter over the last few years where collectively nearly everybody has been in a state of shock.
Yeah.
It was quite nice actually seeing all the outpouring of grief, or words of thanks to Toriyama and his family for obviously everything he's done for anime. So yeah,
It's nice to
huge
see
loss
the community come together,
for once.
basically, and it's not, for once, to share their condolences and reminisce and not just fighting over who is the better games console and da da da. To actually come together and say, do you know what, this guy has made my childhood. I watched all of his series. the characters that he's created. I mean, I personally am not a Dragon Ball fan myself either, but I know the series, I respect the series. I have seen a number of the episodes and played a number of the games. I'm still not a huge fan of it, but I haven't been living under a rock. I know how big the Dragon Ball series is, and actually it was a surprise to me that he was also, like you just said about the Dragon Quest, and then like looking at the character model, and I was like, how did I not clock this sooner?
Right.
There are so many, familiar, designs in characters. It's like, yeah,
Absolutely. Same thing with Blue Dragon. Blue Dragon's actually quite enjoyable game. I've
Yeah.
only seen a little bit of the anime, so I can't speak to that. But as far as a game, if you like JRPGs, it's actually very very good.
I've heard it's a fantastic game. I never got round to playing it
Graphically,
myself,
it's
but
beautiful. It's absolutely stunning.
that's always what I remember from it, from a friend who at the time was playing it. It was always such a beautiful looking game.
It is.
It might be that game now skyrockets in value because of it, but
I'm sure.
it's a 360 like
Mhm.
JRPG classic
Yep.
at this point.
and I
So
guess we are really are going to need that Chrono Trigger remake soon. Then
Oh goodness, I wish they would. I wish they would.
it's like
um,
the exact same reason as you said about Blue Dragon. Original copies of Chrono Trigger are going to shoot straight up
Oh yes,
possibly.
they
they already
will.
have anyway. They're
Yeah,
already
they have.
massively
But now, do you think if
ridiculous
they
price.
had already shot up before, how much more are they going to shoot up now?
Yeah, but let it be known that there is one more Akira Toriyama project coming out soon, which is Sandlands, which is another
Yes.
video game. I think it's due to release at some point this year, so
That's the one
there'll be
that's been
something.
handled by Bandai Namco, isn't it? I
I
think.
believe so, yeah. So, yeah, it'll be available at some point this year. So I'm pretty sure there'll be plenty of people now who will have that a lot more on their radar because of this. Oh, it's out in April apparently.
Well, I like what Jesse says, which is when something is so big, it turns nerd culture into mainstream culture. I like it. I mean, I
Correct.
hate that it's, I hate that this has happened, but it is interesting to watch when it does happen. Big events like this,
Yeah.
and stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of people in chat. They're saying same thing. They are Dragon Ball Z fans. There's Blue Dragon fans. There's everything. It's a legacy. It's just he's, whether you've personally tuned into his stuff or not, it's massive legacy, and I think that that is amazing, and that is something that his family and everything should be proud of. He's left a massive legacy.
Yeah,
and it's beautiful.
So let's take a moment to say thank you, Mr. Toriyama-san.
Absolutely.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Yeah.
Thank you. So let's move on to the next news story. This one is a little bit of an update from last week, where I spoke about a potential dev kit being found.
Yes.
There is a video that has gone live, and there are two separate videos that have gone live this week. One being the Time Splitters project from 2008's dev kit. If you're in the Rapid Reviews Discord, you would have seen that I posted the video for that, but I will post the link in there. My early thoughts of that was I haven't played it, I've only watched it. It's Time Splitters free, just on a PS3, essentially. It's very early. You can see it's very interesting, let's say. Looks like Time Splitters on the PS3. It's exactly what you would expect it to be as an early build. But this came out a few days after that build was dumped online. This coming from VGC. 5 minutes of cancelled Time Splitters game footage shared online. The internal footage shows how Time Splitters Next looked in July 2023. So this was from the Free Radical Designs rebooted Time Splitters when they got picked up by Embracer Group.
Yes.
So footage from Free Radical's Time Splitters Next has been shared online by the team's head of art. Whilst the studio closed in December, just 2 years after it was re-established, it was a huge part of the wide cuts Embracer. The team's working on a new Time Splitters game. However, the closure of Free Radical means the project has likely been cancelled. While none of the game was shown off, the head of art, Rob Steptoe, has posted 5 minutes of footage of the game on his LinkedIn account. The footage appears to show gameplay from a mainly third-person over-the-shoulder perspective similar to Fortnite and was branded Time Splitters Next.
Oh, Pete.
I watched this.
Did I want to know? I want to know.
It looked like crap. I'm going to be honest. The idea of them taking it to a third-person, over-the-shoulder, Fortnite-esque game with live service aspects,
Wow.
it's probably the reason why they killed it.
I
And
personally,
not only that, but Embracer just being completely
Well-
crappy with money and overindulging
Yeah.
on spending
Yeah.
and all of that sort of nonsense. But I'll be honest, I just didn't like the look of this. It could have been very early concept. It looked very fleshed out. To be fair, they did remake a couple of the older levels, and they did look interesting. So the dam level from Time Splitters 2 was remade. It was a lot bigger. It looked quite interesting how it was designed, but the third person over the shoulder perspective, it just doesn't feel like Time Splitters.
Mm.
It was always arcadey, first person, chaotic fun, and that's how it should have stayed. Why is it that games feel like they now have to live up to an expectation of if it's first person, it has to be exactly like COD. It has to be like this. If it's third
money.
person, it has to be like Fortnite.
It's
Just
money and greed.
make something unique and it will stand out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I hope with I know this more feeds into what our future episodes are about. But I am just hoping that the current state of the industry, with the sad and unfortunate layoffs and things like that, they'll start to more concentrate on quality rather than quantity.
I hope so.
Because all we're getting is constant cookie cutter games, which is like Pete just said, the live service, over the shoulder, Fortnite-esque, Epic style, Epic as in the company style games, because they make money, and greed is the kind of cornerstone of all of this. But I think greed is the thing that's bringing the game industry to its knees as well.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping.
But then, how much of all this money, as you were saying, a lot of these that Epic Games do, a lot of it comes from content by collaborations. A lot of it. So,
Yes.
like Fortnite, the only reason why people are still playing it, well, there's lots of reasons for people to still play it now. So I reiterate that, okay, if we bring Peter Griffin from Family Guy into it for
Right.
all of a sudden, you think, okay, what has this character got? Now, I love Family Guy, absolutely love it, but the fact that you brought it into this game, and you think, okay, but why? And then like Metal Gear Solid, didn't they? They brought Solid Snake into it. And you think, okay, I mean, that's absolutely fantastic, and I was very, very half tempted to jump back into Fortnite because of it. But I resisted.
Funnily enough, though, not too long ago, I was playing with my group of friends that I used to work with, and we nearly won a game of Fortnite by camping out in the boxes from Metal Gear Solid.
Oh my gosh. That's one of the quests, by the way. But to be fair, just kind of echoing what Mike said, like a couple of years ago, I've never been a big Fortnite fan. I've recently become one, again, through Mags's channel. But I've figured out that Fortnite is fun if you have friends that play.
Yes,
but
absolutely. I mean, if you were just to play it on your own, I mean, yeah, you can probably get a couple of wins in, or you just hide in a bush until like the very, very end of the game, get the final kill, you win. You cheese the whole thing, you've won nothing.
Exactly.
But, like you said, it's with who you play. It's with who you play.
That's the thing. And I think that's a big key that a lot of these games are missing. when they're trying to mimic this. I'm gonna say Fortnite. It's really the Epic model because they have obviously Fall Guys and Rocket League, and those sort of things.
Yeah, but the thing is that Rocket League and Fall Guys were there like as their own entities before Epic bought them as companies, bought Psyonix and bought
Yeah.
God, why am
That
I
is true.
blanking on the Fall Guys
I
developer?
know.
Mediatonic.
That's the
Yes,
one.
that's it.
Mediatonic.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
What what this Time Splitters next feels like to me is Embracer's idea of going, let's make a
Yeah.
Fortnite challenger, and it was like, I don't think it's really going to work when you have a game like Fortnite that you're emulating,
yeah.
and they have brand recognition at this point, and like Mike said, several crossovers that keep a revenue stream still going.
I mean, they almost got me a few years ago when they did a Rogue and Gambit from Marvel. And I was like, oh, and then they did Master Chief, and I was like, oh, and I was like, but this was back when I didn't have any to play with, and I was like, but I don't have any friends. But that's why they're doing these crossovers, because it gets people like us to go, I might jump in.
That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true because I started playing with my sister and her boyfriend because Doomslayer came into it, and it's like, okay,
Nice.
then, well, I'll give it a chance.
Yeah.
And
Even
I would play as that skin the whole time.
Oh, absolutely.
like I
Oh.
nearly bought the Solid Snake skin just because of it. I was like, oh, it's so tempting, but no, I held off.
If I ever get that Master Chief skin again, that's just me.
But yeah, Fall Guys, as soon as the Street Fighter stuff came out, that was it. I bought those. I bought those straight in. So yeah, it's a bit different, I guess. It's the games that you play, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, or like Mike was saying, it's who you play with,
Yes.
And
as well.
If some of these companies that do want this, if you're going to be motivated by greed, fine, whatever. But make good games, and if you're going to make a multiplayer, make them fun to play with your friends. And then guess what? We'll spend our money.
Yep, that is very true, and that's the unfortunate side of Time Splitters next, is it didn't look fun to me.
And that's a big key of it.
On the VGC article, there is actually the 5-minute video that you can go and watch for yourself and judge for yourself. Don't take my word for it, just my word.
Yep.
So yeah, it was a bit disappointing to see that this morning, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
But the Time Splitters PS3 one actually looked genuinely fun.
Oh, nice.
So I'll post a link to that Reddit as well, so that you can go and find the video for that too. So next up, we've actually got some happy video game company news for once.
Finally, I'm so happy.
I know. This was a strange story in the slew of industry layoffs everywhere. Capcom have broken the trend. Capcom is increasing its starting salary in Japan by more than 25%. So let me just read this as it's come from VGC. At the moment, the existing pay for a new graduate hire is 235,000 yen per month, which is about $1,500. But beginning in its 2025 fiscal year, the company will change to 300,000 yen per month, which is about $2,000.
Right.
So in English money, that is about 17 to 1,800 pounds.
Yeah.
So this is a quote. With this increase in starting salary, Capcom is pursuing further investment in human capital and the acquisition of exceptional talent.
Ooh,
good statement. So, as well as the increase in starting salary, current employees, those who, including those who join in the 2024 fiscal year, will be given a one-time special payment, which Capcom describes as an investment in people who support the future of the company. So, yeah, existing salaries will also be raised in fiscal year 2024 by an average of more than 5%. So Capcom has already increased employees' average base salaries by 30% in April 2022 and introduced a new bonus system more closely tied to the company's business performance. At the time, the company said the move was an attempt to address the issues facing our society while aiming improve its aiming to improve its corporate value and establishing a relationship of trust with employees and stakeholders. So, yeah, very, very interesting, this one. But this isn't the first time this has happened, because Nintendo announced that it was raising its employees' base salary by 10% in Japan. So it just seems like the Japanese companies, apart from Sony, are doing this.
I mean, that's very true. Jesse says that still sounds low for graduates to me. I don't disagree. Hello, Dave. And then granted, I don't know what living costs are like. I think it depends on, much like any country, I think it depends on where you are in that
Yeah,
country.
of course.
And then, yes, but I'm gonna ignore chat for right now. But I think that we've kind of touched on this before, but Japanese society is very, they take care of their workers. The worker is kind of the backbone of their society. And it's good and bad. There's pros and cons, as we know. Japanese
As with
people,
everything.
as with everything, they do work like something like on the grand scale. I think it goes Japanese, Germans, and then U.S. for the amount of hours they work and the dedication that they put into their jobs. Their jobs is their focus of their life, which is great for production, but you've got to pay your workers. You have to.
Yeah.
So it's very good to hear this, but it's almost like, yeah, that's what they should do.
It's almost like a no shit moment.
Yeah, exactly that. Don't forget to honk
Oh
that
shit,
out.
Sherlock.
No, we can get away with one.
Oh,
Now
okay.
I have to honk. It's fine, but I've also just remembered this one. This is another news story. This is an update from last week as well, where we spoke about Tropic Haze. And if you don't remember what Tropic Haze was, this was the creators of Yuzu, the emulator.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay, now
So,
I'm with you because I was very confused. Yes.
yeah, I didn't mention it was produced by Tropic Haze last week, so I didn't know that at the time. So anyway, the creator of a popular Nintendo Switch emulator has settled a lawsuit with Nintendo and agreed to pay $2.4 million in damages.
No. Oh, okay. Finish up because I have stuff to say.
Tropic Haze, creator of the Switch emulator Yuzu, was sued by Nintendo last month. The platform holder claimed that Yuzu was facilitating piracy at a colossal scale. There was a statement that came out, and I will read it as such from Tropic Haze themselves. I actually did not know as well at the time, so this might come as a bit of a surprise, that it also included Citra. I'll get into that in a minute.
Okay.
So, hello Yuzuers and Citra fans. We write today to inform you that Yuzu and Yuzu support Citra are being discontinued effective immediately. Yuzu and its team have always been against piracy. We started the project in good faith, out of passion for Nintendo and its consoles and games, and we're not intended to cause harm. But we now see that because of our projects can circumvent Nintendo's technological protection measures and allow users to play games outside of authorized hardware, they have led to extensive piracy. In particular, we have been deeply disappointed when users have used our software to leak game contents prior to release and ruin the experience for legitimate purchasers and fans. We have come to the decision that we cannot continue to allow this to occur. Piracy was never our intention, and we believe that piracy of video games and on video game consoles should end. Effective today, we'll be pulling our code repositories offline, discontinue our Patreon accounts and Discord servers, and soon shutting down our websites. We hope our actions will be a small step towards ending piracy of all creators' work. Thank you for years of support and for understanding our decision. So, Citra is actually the 3DS emulator as well, developed by them. So, yeah, which is calling into question a lot of annoyance for some people, because actually the service for the 3DS is shutting down next month, which seems to be a bit annoying for a few people.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, I've never hidden, and I'm not going to start now, that I use emulators.
Yeah.
You know, the ROMs and the ISOs, and however you want to say it, they can get a little bit dodgy. And I kind of said this last week too. Emulators, I think, are, well, before I say that, think about the NES that was released or whatever a couple of years ago, the little
NES Classic Edition.
The NES
that
Classic, yeah.
that thing that's got an emulator in it. You know
Yeah,
what I
it
mean?
has.
I think that they are amazing. I think that the people that write these or whatever, because they do it on their own, I think it's kind of like I don't know. It's something to be heralded, not something to be ignored or pushed away or whatever. And I'm sorry that Nintendo feels that they're being, entrenched upon or whatever. You know what I mean?
Their intellectual property infringed.
Yeah, I get a little bit iffy there because as we know, I'm all about power to the people. I don't hide that. But it's more than that. It's stuff that Pete and I have talked about before. Games preservation. There are games that no longer exist, or that picture that I showed earlier, the King of Fighters, that's 99 pounds. Not that I would necessarily play that version of King of Fighters, but I'm definitely not going to pay it for 99 pounds. But I might go grab me a little, ROM and play a little bit of a Game Boy Advance, just to get that taste or whatever. So my personal thing is, actually, I'm going to say what Dave says, which is emulation is an important part of gaming. It just is. Only ways for people to play older titles for old mediums that might not work. Exactly. Because then you look at stuff like Jaguar, or Jaguar.
The Atari Jaguar.
Thank you. 3DO titles. Oh my gosh, 3DO titles. I don't think you're going to play those without emulation. And I don't think that all of that dev work and all of the writers and all of the terrible voice acting, all of that, I don't think that it should be lost, to history just because a big company is, butthurt. That's my personal opinion. These two guys probably don't share that, so I'll turn the floor over to them. Go for it, Mike.
After you, Pete.
Yeah.
I said more than enough last week. I think that emulation is a key part of our industry. There are several games that have either not made it to our shores, through various different reasons that we had no other choice but to play that way. Mother 3 has forever been a Japanese-only game, only because of fan translations and ROMs that we've actually been able to experience it over in the West. Same with Super Mario RPG for the longest time.
Oh, yes.
That being said, there are games that are being pulled off of services, and it has been quite well known this week that's been happening with PlayStation games, and certain things are coming out, such as the Stellar Blade demo that recently just got pulled off of people's hard drives, and that sort of thing. I don't really agree with that sort of stuff. It shows the remit of these companies where it's like they can go so far as to remove stuff out of your library, or do things as crazy as Nintendo does, such as reselling ROMs back to you in the Wii days and the Wii U days, where they were selling ISO files basically on the eShop, or the Virtual Console, as well as and this is where last week we might have gained a little bit of flack in our chat about it, of current day emulation, stuff that's currently available. I get that, but actually there are games that are currently no longer being sold out there that we can't actually gain access to anymore.
Right.
So that we should be able to find a legal way or a way of playing them, such as the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection, which was a limited time release, Mario 35 that you can never play again, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there is stuff on current day consoles that is still being removed. So it's not a new practice. It's been happening for years. It will keep happening for years. the problem is that once servers go offline, we're going to struggle to play most of these modern day games anyway. So we do need to find a good way of preserving the library to some degree. Because, like I said, so stuff like the 3DS, which is going off service next month, same with the Wii U. We need to find a way to preserve those games that were only sold digitally, and that's going to be a lot more difficult now with stuff like Citra going down and Wii U emulators being a bit of a struggle. You know, we've seen this over the years with the PS3 as well, where PS3 is very, very difficult to emulate, and a lot of those games are now skyrocketing in price, and a lot of the digital only games on there are not finding a way of being played ever again. So emulation is a key important part of our industry, and yet big companies don't seem to want to embrace them until they can make money out of them. But I think the biggest problem with the Yuzu emulator was the fact that there was a Patreon there. They were making money out of their emulation. They were actively telling people how to circumvent product key protections and stuff like that to certain subscribers on Patreon, which is probably where the issue was. So this is probably why this got vetted through a lawyer. It got told the way that it did. It sounded very legal speak, but it still kind of sucks to some degree. But that being said, there will probably be more emulators come out within God knows how long. But I just think the thing is that people just need to if you're going to build them. I don't think they can stop them.
No,
it's going to be very impossible to do them. But the thing is that most people, when they build emulators back in the day, and there are a lot of people who have built emulators in years gone by who have gone on to work in the industry, who didn't make any money out of them. I think it's when the exchange of money happens for the service, that's when you start getting the interest of certain companies.
I could see that. I could. Mike, do you have any opinions on emulators? Especially
well, I mean, I agree with both of you guys. I mean, to be fair, is there really any gamer alive who hasn't dabbled in an emulator at one point in their life? To be fair, especially in like low income families as well. I mean,
exactly.
I, for example, my brother and my sister, we did play emulators for a long while. We had a PC. We was without a video game console for the longest time, but we would play old games. Now, old games being like the Nintendo 64 or, Super Mario RPG, because that was literally the only way that you could play it outside of the US.
Yep.
And then, like Game Boy Advance games and stuff like that as well, all on a PC through numerous emulators, and using certain sites. Is it frowned upon? Most likely in the official channels. Yes, I can totally understand that. Do I do it now? No.
Yeah.
Mainly because now I'm in a position where I can actually buy games and, play games. And because obviously the Nintendo Switch, has so many games, and a lot of them obviously, touching upon, Wii games and GameCube games. Yeah, reselling the same games back to us that we've owned several times before is a bit of a douche move, so to speak.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. You may have to cut that out.
No.
No, that's fine.
The shower move. I was speaking French then. Yeah.
There you go.
But I mean, if you have an emulator, now, if it was just a general emulator, it says you can use this to emulate games. Now, they're not specifying exactly what games. Now, this is a product that you have created. This is your product now. Nobody can stop you from, creating your own product, which just so happens to be able to emulate other people's games.
Right.
The problem is when they start giving you the keys to the kingdom and allowing you to emulate games that are currently available in the market and including before they've even been released worldwide. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Breaking the retail embargoes and stuff like that. And it's, I've just played the whole of Tears of the Kingdom on this emulator. And it's like,
that's different.
You're ruining it for everyone. You're ruining it for yourself. You ruin it for everybody who's using those emulators, not just the people that are waiting to play the game officially, but you ruin it for everybody who's using that emulator. And on top of it, you're not going to get the flack. It's the company that created the emulator.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But
I
it
agree
is.
wholeheartedly.
But additionally to that as well, it is also
Mm.
those retailers that might accidentally, those retailers that break street date that are going to cause a huge issue
Yeah.
because they're always going to sell a game to someone who's going to circumvent the protection software to dump the cartridge
Yeah.
online or the contents of the game online for someone else to be able to do that.
And it's all money. We've all got a price that we're willing to accept, and it could have been their best friend, or somebody said to them, look, if you do this for me, I'll be able to swing you 300 quid, 400 quid. And the guy who works at the certain game store goes, sounds all right to me.
Yep.
Problem is when you get caught, does the hammer come down?
Yeah, and just
Because,
remember as well.
game company, the companies of these retail stores and that, they do not see lightly to that. It is a proper, issue.
Yep.
Yeah, just
You lose
remember
your
as
job
well.
and you will never be able to work in that, that industry again.
Yeah.
True. Also remember as well that people have been blacklisted from the industry
Yes.
because reviewers have also leaked copies online before from their
Yes.
their review copies. And Nintendo and other companies will track that very heavily about who they've sent keys out to.
Oh yes, and
Actually-
it's it like you hit the nail on the head there, because that's one of the issues that we personally have, where you and I and other small outlets, and we have to adhere to embargoes all the time, and we are happy to do so.
Mm-hmm.
But we're lucky if we get a launch day release code
Yep.
to avoid all these issues with releasing the games or breaking embargoes early. And then you'll get somebody who's got 1 million followers or 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and they are posting the entire game before release day.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you think, okay.
Yeah. That's very true. We've seen it happen.
It's a double-edged sword, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Unfortunately so.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So I personally think, and then of course we'll move on quickly, swiftly move on. But I personally think that if Yuzu would have stuck it out, I actually think they would have been fine. But then Pete saying that they have the Patreon and stuff like that, I hadn't taken that into account.
No, I didn't have all the information to hand last week when we were talking about it, because I think that wasn't particularly well known. Or I didn't know about it, at least, anyway.
I mean, that
mean,
was...
one of the loopholes is that you don't choose the pirate's life. The pirate's life chooses you.
Exactly.
Some people are just not in a position to be able to purchase these games legitimately, or like I said before, low-income families. I, for example, put my hands up to it. With emulation and playing old games, but it was not games that were available at the time. These are games that have long since gone out of circulation, and it was like one of the only ways to be able to play and experience them.
Do y'all remember? Now this is going back, way back. Do y'all remember Wares? WAREZ.
Mm-hmm.
Which was pre-emulation, or probably right about the same time. And that's the only way I got to play Halo and Rainbow Six. Was those dodgy little Wares sites. But I didn't have any money, and I didn't have an original Xbox at the time. And so there's always gonna be ways that people are gonna get these games. And I mean, do I think that big companies should be cracking down on them? I don't personally, because let's just again, this is purely my opinion. What are they losing out on? What money is Nintendo losing out on from a little emulator? You know what I mean?
It's not about the money. That is the thing. It's not about the money. It's the principle. It always comes down to that. It's the principle. And we can all do that. But for example, if you had your
I know, I'm playing,
It's about
but I know.
it's protecting your IP, and if they're not shown to protect
I'll
their
say
IP,
this.
then they'll lose the rights to it essentially eventually.
I will say
Yeah.
this. For people who don't know, I am a professional writer. I have a couple of books published. One time.
Hence the drinking
Yes, exactly.
and living in Ireland.
Oh, exactly. That's where the creative juices are flowing. This is my creative juices. But I kid you not, I found one of my books, my biggest seller, on a Russian site, and it was what would be a ROM version of a printed book. And
PDF.
basically, yeah, it was a PDF. It was, yes, that, just that.
Oh, stop, Pete.
Jesus Christ.
And I just remember sitting there going, am I upset at this or am I flattered by this? Now, again, my reflection is not the world at large. I was actually very flattered. Because I was like, oh, someone has pirated my book. And there was like over 2,000 downloads of this PDF. And I was like, you know what? I'm cool with that. I mean, yes, that's lost revenue. But it got my book into a lot of hands that wouldn't normally be in there. But again, that's me, and I don't speak for other people. And I'm not encouraging piracy. It's just something that
The problem is where that money goes, Kiley.
Well, yes.
It's in Russia and it may be funding something else.
That is actually a very valid point, actually. It's a very valid point. But I'm going to read a little bit of chat, just a little bit, and then Pete, you can move on. But Denker says, there's now a cloner coming, described as Sue Yu. Oh, I get it. Sue Yu. Very good, Denker. Dave says, very true. Disposable income is a bit of a luxury these days. So something is flowing from my bank account. For those who don't know, Dave did supply me with wine about a month ago now, Dave. It's been 1 month in Nottingham. He bought me lots of wine. But it's because we were cheering.
Dude, it's been a month. Let it go.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
It's old news now, Dave.
We were cheering on Mags. I say cheering. I was cheering on Mags. Dave was booing Mags on stage at the Debug Awards. Go check that episode out. And then Denker says that's not a joke, it's real.
That's why I actually didn't laugh at it. I knew that.
Sue Yu is real? I have to hats off, man. Hats off. That's amazing.
The hacker community comes up quick.
Exactly, Mike. Exactly. Oh, Dave says, my bank account hasn't recovered. I am done. Look, I also...
Financially ruined.
He is fine. He was. I drank a lot, but I also bought him drinks with his own bank card.
That doesn't count. That's not you buying a drink. That's just co-opting someone else's account.
I did. I bought rounds for me, him, and...
That's just getting them to drink so you don't feel as bad.
Exactly. And we had a third person, Rowan, so I just bought rounds for us over and over with his bank card. As we cheered on Mags. They heckled him. I cheered. But anyway, Cincho says, I mean, all they have to do is copy a repo and use the one that was sued. Exactly. That's what I'll be doing. And then Dave says, I have to emulate because of Kiley. I am the original Dave. Jenny says exactly what I'm thinking, which is Sue Yu has to be a joke. Maybe they just have a really good sense of humor, you know?
I think they do.
Because remember back in the day, a lot of the emulator sites were called emus, and they had emu farmers.
Yeah.
As their
Emu paradise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike knows. I remember those days.
No, I said that out loud. I shouldn't have done. Nintendo go after him. Oh no, quick! I redact that. I said nothing.
Uh-huh. Not at all. Oh, so many. I spent so much time there. Um, yeah. And Denker says again, it's real. Just Google it. And Dave says, yeah, it's real. That's crazy. But Pete, do you want to hit our last story? Because
A
we are
couple
coming up.
second to last story because
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to run through this pretty quickly
Okay.
anyway because Xbox held a second partner preview event on Wednesday. In case you didn't know this was happening, nobody did really
Yeah,
because
it
they
was a
didn't really
surprise.
advertise it very much. They'll go ahead and advertise the fact that they're talking about their slate of third party games that ended
Yes.
up being a nothing burger, but won't actually talk about games that are coming out this
Like that
from
was
third parties
crazy.
from their partners. Brilliant, good work. Anyway, it was about a half hour. I haven't actually watched it. I had no interest in watching it, if I'm honest. I
I
was
got half
supposed to
the
watch it.
emails in my inbox anyway from the games that they didn't announce.
I heard it all on the Spawncast this morning.
Oh goodness.
There you are.
Okay, well,
See,
run
I
through
didn't
them
need to
quickly.
watch it then. So, first up was Frogware's Sinking City 2, a
Uh-huh.
Lovecraftian survival horror set in the otherworldly rendition of Arkham in the 1920s USA.
Yeah.
Coming out in 2025, it's also coming for PS5 and PC. Creatures of Ava, co-developed by Spanish studios Inverge
And
and
Chibi.
Chibig, yeah. Live is an
Hey, I
action
did read
adventure
the top.
game. Thank you. Action adventure game where players tame creatures to save their world from a life-consuming infection.
Oof.
It's featuring a co-story co-created by Rihanna Pratchett. Pratchett, yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Terry Pratchett's daughter, I believe.
Oh, okay. I do like her. I've not read her writing, but I like the way she handles trolls. So
Yeah.
there you
Okay. It's due to be released in 2024. So initially on Series X and S and PC, then come to Game Pass for both platforms. Milestone and Feld Motorsports revealed Monster Jam Showdown. Due to come out Series X, S, One, PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC via Steam and Epic Game Stores.
I do have to state I am a hillbilly. I do love Monster Jam.
Yeehaw.
I do. I have seen I've gone to actual Monster Jam rallies in person.
I've seen the original Bigfoot many, many years ago in the UK.
Yes! Oh, it's
Nice.
so amazing! Oh, I love Bigfoot and Gravedigger. That is. You'll see
Whether it
my
was the actual
hillbilly
real
twelve.
Bigfoot or just a monster truck that had Bigfoot written on the side of it and we was just
Hey,
supposed to believe it was Bigfoot, I can't remember. I was
it's
young.
close enough. Look, they wreck themselves so much and get new panels. What is it? The ship of Theseus? That's. It just becomes that, but as monster
It was
trucks.
monster truck.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I love monster truck rallies.
So-
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Okay. Right, I'm not going to carry on with this monster truck talk because we need to move swiftly on. Could be all
Yes.
day. Next
Could
up was
be.
Sleight of Hand, third-person card-slinging occult noir stealth sim
Oh, I
from
already
New
know.
Zealand-based developer Riff Raff Games. So it's due to be day one Game Pass release for Series X and S and PC in 2025, but it's also coming to Steam.
Yeah, it'll do well on Steam. It will. It's not
Next
my
up,
thing.
this was probably one of the biggest announcements they actually had. This was from a recent leak, unfortunately, but it was confirmed. Stalker, the Legends of Zone trilogy is now available on Xbox One and PS4.
That's
Wait, they actually made a game about Kylie and Max?
Yes.
Brilliant.
And I
Sorry.
win.
Sorry. That's my
Yeah.
input for tonight.
I know. So this is fully playable on current gen platforms via backwards compatibility. Includes original Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl, prequel Stalker Clear Sky, and its sequel, Call of Pirapat. Oh, how to pronounce it anyway. Right. So that's a pretty cool announcement, I thought.
That is actually very cool. I will say this, and it makes me sound very awful. But Pete and I watched. Oh God, I'm gonna say a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago. We watched the
Xbox Showcase.
Xbox Showcase. Thank you, Pete. and the first Stalker 2 trailer was shown, and it looked amazing. I was
Mhm.
all on board for that. Now, for those who don't know, the Stalker developers are from the Ukraine.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know, is currently embroiled in a war with Russia. The subsequent trailers have not been as impressive to me, which I do try to balance that with the fact that they are in the middle of a war zone, but it's also kind of disappointing.
Yeah, and the game's been, delayed several times as a result. It still is due to come out this year, apparently, but I'll be interested to see it. But obviously, if anyone's interested in Stalker 2, then you can go back and play the original Stalker games on console
So
now.
Yeah.
are you trying to say that they keep putting off the game?
They do. But I mean, for
Mm.
good reasons. I mean, it is for
Yeah.
good reasons, but I'm still just like, that trailer ain't good. I feel terrible saying that, but it is
I
good
know.
that the original Stalker is available so people can play it before Stalker 2 is released.
Yeah,
You know?
I agree. I agree.
I'm so terrible. I'm bad.
Yeah.
That
Right.
was terrible, but somebody had to say it.
Exactly.
Anyway,
But
next
it means
up,
that nobody else has to, so now we can
That's
move on.
right. There you go.
let's move on. Well, let's move on like I was trying to.
Yes, sorry, Pete.
Next up, Persona 3 Reload,
Right.
a game that came out a couple of weeks ago.
It did. Yes.
Yeah.
Max played
Expansion Pass was announced.
it. Uh-huh.
It's featuring new costumes, background music, and extended story content. DLC will be released in 3 waves. So it will be available via Game Pass Ultimate. It will culminate with the release of Persona 3 Reload Episode Aegis, The Answer, in September 2024. Now, this caused quite a stir, to be honest, because people were quite pissed that Atlas turned around and said this is a full and complete experience for them to announce a month later that they have got an expansion pass. And now, I don't know a lot about Atlas and their practices of age old, but I do remember that Persona 3 had 3 different versions of the game: Persona 3, Persona 3 Fez,
Yes.
and Persona 3 Portable.
Be portable, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is now the 4th version of the game, and probably this was stated on the Spawncast by someone. They will probably release a complete edition once all the DLC is done too. So that will be the 5th edition of the game.
Yeah.
But now, hang on, wasn't Limited Run Games doing the physical publishing for that?
They might
Or was
be.
it for
That wouldn't
the
surprise me.
original?
I
PS,
can't remember
Persona
which
3.
one they were doing it for, but yeah. It doesn't matter either way. It's just the fact that I think a lot of new Atlas fans since Persona 5 don't recall what Atlas were like when it came to releasing stuff.
I like exactly what Sincho says, which I'm on board with, which is Persona 3 is becoming the new Skyrim, or even the new GTA 5.
I would say that the
6?
Persona series as a whole is basically becoming that way.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's
Like there's just re-release after re-release after re-release
Exactly.
on several different consoles. It was stated as well. It's a very weird thing that Persona 5 Royal was released on the PS4 and then was released on the PS5, and the save files didn't exactly merge, which is kind of
Yeah.
stupid.
I don't get that. Dave says not just Persona.
Now we have to remember that Atlas is owned by one big Japanese company who have a tendency to re-release quite a lot of games, and that is Sega.
Oh yes.
Sega.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dave makes a very good point.
And yes, I was about to bring that up.
Go ahead. Yep.
Last week or the week before, we were talking about the Nintendo Direct, where we were talking about Shin Megami Tensei 5 and
Exactly.
Vengeance coming out, which is a re-release of Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yep.
And who's the publisher and developer?
It's Atlas.
Oh my gosh.
It's normal for Atlas.
I like what Sincho says. Let's make Re-Sega a new term. Yes, that's exactly what. Yes, that's perfect.
Yeah,
Ah.
I can't say anything about some Sega stuff because I just went and spent a lot of money with RGG Studios. So,
Yeah.
Ah, my
so
goodness.
anyway, next up we had Capcom.
Good old
The
Capcom.
provided a fresh look for Gami, the Path of the Goddess. So this is a single-player game set in Japanese-inspired universe, which follows in the tradition of truly unique titles such as Akami and Shinseki Into the Depths. So this is coming to Xbox Series S and X, Windows, PS5, and Steam, and it will be on Game Pass at launch. This did actually look really nice, to be fair. And I'm not saying that as a Capcom shill, but I might be saying that as a potential
You, a
Capcom
Capcom
shill.
shield?
No,
No.
never. Yeah.
No.
I know,
Lies.
no,
Slander. Libel.
never. I won't answer those without my lawyer present. Some of it might be accurate. No, this did look actually really nice. To be fair, it looks a really interesting game. So because it's on Game Pass, I'm definitely probably going to check it out now.
Oh, Jack
So,
Tindo is
yeah.
joined, by the way. Hello, Jack Tindo.
Hey, bro.
Okay, I've been given the go ahead to admit that I am a Capcom shill by my lawyer. Thanks, Dave.
Okay, then.
Oh, goodness.
Anyway, Surgeon Studios and EA Originals offered offered the first look at gameplay for Tales of Kenzora Zao. So with all the Japanese games, coming into Series X and S, PS5, PC, and Switch on April 23rd. So not long to wait for that game. And then the first Berserker, Karzan,
Yeah.
released a gameplay trailer. Single player hardcore action RPG based on the Dungeon and Fighter universe. It's due for release on PS5 and Series X and S. I'm not sure when, didn't reveal a release date for that one. Yeah, there's a couple more games anyway. So 11-Bit Studios released the gameplay reveal trailer for The Alters, which is due for release this year on PC and consoles. And it's a sci-fi game that sees players take on the role of Jen Dolsky, a simple worker who creates alternate versions of himself in a desperate attempt to escape from a planet where even sun rays can prove deadly. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like that concept. I don't know,
Yep.
it's the execution, but I like the concept.
Yeah. And the final game was Unknown 9 Awakening. So this is a Bandai Namco game. Bandai Namco, a third-person, narrative-driven action-adventure game that follows the story of Haruna, oh my god, what is with these weird names and weird people? So they have the ability to
Funny
venture
enough, they're
into the
only
fold.
weird names to us, Pete. In
Exactly.
Japan, they're just names.
Mike is right. Good point, Mike.
All right, well you read them then. You try to pronounce them.
I can't because I would do it in a really, really, really bad Japanese accent, and it would probably be considered racist, and I would be cancelled. So,
There you go.
as you were, Pete.
Oh, so you're happy to see me potentially
Yes.
cancelled, just not yourself.
Yes.
Hey, it's your podcast.
God damn it. So they have the ability to venture into the fold, a mysterious dimension that overlaps our own. On her quest for powerful hidden knowledge, she will learn to master her unique connection to the fold.
Nice.
So, coming on March 21st.
Very nice. Very good.
I did see the trailer to that. It did look very good.
Ooh.
Oh, well, I'll check out the trailer for some of these games, obviously, a bit later on down the line. What the impression I seem to be getting from people online is that this was short, it was sharp, it was snappy, it was trailer after trailer after trailer. There was not a lot wasn't a lot of fluff in the middle of it. It was just marketing campaign, the video package.
Well,
fair enough.
I like both what Dave and Jesse has said in chat. Dave says, I do too many random jobs around here, and he does. Manager, lawyer, Kylie's financier. It's true. The janitor at Rapid Reviews. I found out this morning. Notices the spillage in the corner and size. It's true. He has to clean up after my messes. But Jess.
That sounds like my job as well.
That's true. But we've often said that Pete and Dave are, polarity. They're very similar. Jesse.
Yeah, I can read this one because it's.
Oh yeah, you go for it. Go for it.
Mike, can I ask you the opinion of the release of?
Hold on. Reset. Yeah, again.
I don't know if I even got that anywhere close to what it's supposed to be written like in chat, but hey.
Oh, there you go.
Basically, a random slew of letters strung together in some degree of.
Oh dear! If somebody could write it down and put it on the screen, because I can't see any of the chat.
That's okay, because Jesse says, "Dang it!" I'm gonna say, "Dang it," so we don't have to honk it. That was supposed to be funny, but Pete got it spot on.
I doubt that I did, but hey, anyway, that's fine. Anyway, so and Dave followed that up and said, "Can you ask about that?" And Dave just put, "Yes, it was delayed due to the war in Ukraine."
I feel so terrible.
Right.
I'm not repeating what I said before.
I know.
No. Okay. Right, I'm going to move on to the final news story because there's a reason why Mike Tendo is here, to some degree.
Well, there's several reasons, but
to some degree, yeah. This degree, and I hope we can get on with it because it's starting to sweat under this hat.
Yeah,
it's so cute, Mike.
So today, as we're recording, today is March 10th, also now known, corporately speaking, as Mario Day.
Yes.
And there have been several.
Mario Day! Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Right. Yeah, there have been several announcements
for the rest of the evening. I'm done now.
Wait. There have been several announcements over the week. I'm not going to go over a lot of them, apart from a couple of days ago, it was announced that there is another collaboration with Lego coming.
Yes.
For Lego Mario Kart, which is coming in 2025. We will know more about that in the not too distant future, I guess. But it was today where we had some of the biggest announcements, I would say. So let's go over some of those that were shown off. Shall we start with the smaller news first? I think we shall. So there are 3 Mario games that are coming to the NSO service over the next week, which are Dr. Mario, Mario Golf, and Mario Tennis. Dr. Mario is the Game Boy game, and Mario Golf and Mario Tennis are the GBA games. They are decent little games. Very good.
Very good.
Yep. I'll be.
Keeps them away from the emulators.
Yes, optics-wise, not the greatest thing to announce,
was
it?
Very good,
Mike. It's fine, Mike. I will play you a Mario Golf. At least we can play online, I guess.
I do like
that is true.
What Jack Tendo has said, but
we are getting.
Yeah, I was going to say, I figure you're getting to that, so I'm not going to read that.
No. So next up, well, this was second to last in there because that was the last announcement they had. I'm going in reverse order. So they very quickly showed the release dates for 2 upcoming remakes or remasters or whatever you want to call them. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door and Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. So Luigi's Mansion 2 is coming in on June 27th this year, and Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door on May 23rd.
Ooh.
Yep.
Special day.
You better believe that I'll be playing the living hell out of Thousand Year Door remake.
I know you will be.
It'll be the first time for me. I've heard good things.
I've played it. It's good. It's good.
I am still annoyed.
Get hold of a GameCube emulator, so.
I definitely did.
The annoying thing is that I actually owned 2 physical copies of this and sold them at separate occasions.
Why?
Damn, being poor at the time.
Yeah, all right, fine.
Ain't that a stinker?
Yes, it was annoying, but we will have to come together at some point and discuss Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door.
Yeah.
Because I'll be interested to see what your thoughts are on it as a new player compared to mine as being probably the 4th time that I'll be playing it.
Nice. I think that would be a
I
very
mean, I
good
know
discussion.
I'm no stranger to the Paper Mario series, but I had not played Thousand Year Door or Sticker Star. But I don't think I'm missing out on much for Sticker Star.
No, I don't
Sticker
think
Star,
so.
probably not. Probably not. Don't read that. Oh, you haven't got chat open anyway. It's
I
fine.
haven't got
Don't read
chat. I can't
spoilers
see
in
chat.
it.
So.
You'll see a
Spoilies.
spoiler in there. It's fine.
Spoilies.
Yes. But you're speaking about the wrong game, Mr. Jack Tendo. He's talking about Mr. L.
Yes, that would be Super Mario.
Super Paper
Super
Mario on the
Paper
Wii.
Mario. Yeah,
Mhm.
on the Wii. Yes.
That game gets unnecessary hate, unfortunately. I
I
don't know why.
enjoyed
I
it.
think
I
it's
don't
great.
like the antagonist too much, but I quite enjoyed it. I
Oh,
think it's probably because of the
how dare
gameplay
you?
more than anything.
How dare you leave Count Bleck out of this? Bleck is amazing.
I wasn't talking about Black. I was talking about the others.
Oh, okay, fair
That's
enough.
all right, yeah. I was talking about that little pixel thing that followed you around the whole time.
They are not. The little pixels are kind of pain. Not gonna lie. The villains in that are brilliant.
I like.
Mm.
Sidjo says that dragon boss, the gatekeeper. Wow, a dragon boss, such a specific spoiler.
Well, maybe Mike didn't want to know there was a dragon-like boss in
I
that
mean,
game.
yeah. Oh no, you've
I
ruined
mean,
the
it
whole
was
game.
seen in the trailer, to be fair.
It was seen in the trailer. It was, it's from a 20-something-year-old game.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
goodness.
right. The first, but the last thing that we're going to cover
Yes.
was probably the biggest news out of it, and the surprise of absolutely nobody out there anywhere.
Mm.
Nintendo and Illumination Studios have confirmed the second Mario Brothers movie is coming for 2026.
Right.
With a expected release date of the 3rd of April.
Anybody
Not
surprised?
March 10th.
Oh, right. Oh, they should have done that March 10th. I agree, Mike.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't have been a Friday. It would have been a Tuesday. Or a
True.
Wednesday.
For me, it was a
True.
Tuesday.
So yeah, this looks like it's all being helmed by much of the same people that was on the first Mario movie. So directed by Aaron Hovarth and Michael Jelenic, and written by Matthew Fogel. It will have Shigeru Miyamoto involved in an executive producer role and consultant, with obviously with Nintendo very strongly involved within production. It'll probably surprise most of the cast, yet none of those have confirmed that they will be returning. But let's be honest, all of those will be returning. They're probably contractually obliged at this point.
I think so.
Though, like I said, to those, the absolute surprise of absolutely nobody. If you saw the movie and you saw the post-credit sequence, I think we know where this is going. I think we know what's going to happen. And I even said this in the cinema when I saw it. I'm just going to put it on record. Sorry if you haven't seen the film. Doesn't really matter. I think this one is going to be very much based on Yoshi's Island.
I hope so.
Possibly.
That would be very cool. Oh, that would be very cool.
But they did.
Or at the very least, Super Mario World.
Yeah.
Well, that sort of.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm so there.
Thought more Dinosaur Island, sort of area more than anything. However, there was something that Shigeru Miyamoto said within this, is that they might be visiting other worlds.
Yes.
So could it be possible that they
Rainbow
might
Road?
be expanding the scope a little bit more than just Yoshi's Island?
Well, there's
Possibly.
a lot of
Could we be
worlds.
talking about Mario Galaxy?
I was gonna say.
Yeah, but then saying that, it's like when you played like the original Super Mario Bros. And like Super Mario Bros. 3, that they call each like area a world. So it's like world 1 of 2, world 2 of 4.
Yeah, and if you looked at the map,
possible.
And if you looked at the map from the Mario movie itself, it showed a lot of different kingdoms within that world that we haven't actually seen.
Whoa.
We've just seen them briefly blow past them, like Cheap Cheap Valley.
Yes.
Cheap. That's so
to Center Desert, I think it is, or however you pronounce it,
Yeah,
from Mario Odyssey.
Toast Arena or something
Yeah,
like that.
that's the
Toast
one.
Arena.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different kingdoms that they haven't visited yet. They've only really touched on the Mushroom Kingdom and Kong Jungle, basically,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good.
and the Darklands as well.
Well,
Exactly.
Jack Tendo actually brings up a couple of points. One, Paper Mario, Endless Ocean, and Luigi's Mansion are all releasing on Thursdays, which is interesting. I find that very
More reasons to
interesting.
book Fridays off work then.
Exactly.
Sure.
And then he says the thing is, they never said it was a sequel, just expanding upon the Mario world, which is kind of saying what Pete is saying. Because yeah, Super Mario 3, which is one of my absolute favorites of Super Mario, followed by Super Mario World. Super
World
Mario
over
3
3, come fight me.
but Super Mario 3 is all different kingdoms. Cuz there's, those are all kingdoms.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Yeah, not just worlds,
They are
but
kingdoms.
kingdoms.
Yeah.
Whereas Super Mario World seems to be kind of
It's
worlds
one
of-
area set
Yeah.
out over different
Exactly
different
that.
zones, essentially.
Yeah, zones, that's
Archer,
right.
archipelago.
Yeah.
Archipelago.
Yes, exactly that. Jack Tendo redeemed a glass of wine. Okay, Jack, just for you.
Dude.
Sancho puts Yoshi's Island is the best Super Mario game. Fight me.
I do like Yoshi's Island. I can't.
Why is everybody so obsessed with fighting today? Come on.
Well, it is Sincho. He does do fight games.
That is true.
I do love Yoshi's Island. I'm not gonna lie, but for me personally, and I would love to hear you guys' opinions. It does go Super Mario 3, followed by Super Mario World. Those are my, and then Yoshi's Island after that. But I know Pete loves Super Mario Odyssey. That's a joke, by the way.
I do love Odyssey. Odyssey's a great game.
Oh, what is it? Sunshine or whatever that you hate?
Sunshine can suck my ass.
I don't know why you hate Sunshine. I love its little mechanic.
Because the thing about Mario games is that it should actually give Mario more ability to move around in a 3D space, especially with the 3D games.
Right.
It locked abilities behind the FLUDD. So when you played the levels that you couldn't use FLUDD, he didn't have some of his mobility options, which made it more difficult and more annoying.
Oh.
Funnily enough, I think we're retreading over old ground. I'm pretty sure I've heard Pete say this a few times before.
Yes, he said it.
Kiley has drunk several times since then.
At least he's consistent.
That's true.
Word for word. It's probably a written script at this point. Just sits on the side of the table off screen.
Sorry,
Oh,
hang on.
goodness.
Checks notes. Yep.
See?
Okay,
Kiley is struggling.
I did it.
Yeah. When it comes to the 3D games, it goes Galaxy.
But
Galaxy is very much on the top.
Dave says
Galaxy,
I also.
64, then Sunshine.
Well, Dave says I also hate Sunshine because I am ginger. So F Sunshine.
Fair reason. Fair reason.
Don't come to Spain then.
Oh goodness. But let's see. He has so much movement in Sunshine. I mean, that is true. That's Sincho saying that.
Yes, but I can go and play Galaxy and he has all those abilities without the use of FLUDD. And an annoying backpack talking to you the whole freaking time.
There's
It
another
looks like
game
a
that has a
fucking
very, very
duck.
annoying backpack. Oh wait, that's Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, but there's a bird in that backpack, not the actual backpack itself.
That is true. Oh, we
Flipping
have.
heck, Kiley. Did you just down that wine?
Yes, because that's the redeem that your brother has redeemed,
Ooh,
which
that's
is
an
Chug.
interesting.
Okay.
That is an interesting poll that we've currently got
The
up
current-
in chat at the moment.
Yes, the
What
current
game
poll.
to film do you want to see from Nintendo next?
Ooh, I'm not going to tell mine out loud, but yes, it's already up there. So
Metroid.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yes.
Okay, as out of all of those options, so the options are Metroid, F-Zero, Pikmin, Splatoon, or other. I think only one of those would make a decent movie. That's Metroid.
Yes, I think we're all in agreement
I
there.
think Splatoon would probably make a good TV series, maybe like a
Yes.
sitcom kind of thing.
If they based it on the manga, then yes.
Mm.
Like, if anyone read the Splatoon manga, it's actually really good.
Mm.
Well,
Pikmin, probably not. That'll probably. I don't think that would really work so well.
man, if Jonathan was still here, he'd be.
Pikmin's probably going to be a direct-to-TV movie. Unfortunately, I love Pikmin. I think it's really, really great. But I don't
They'll
know whether
license
it's
that out to Hallmark movies.
yeah.
There you go. Oh.
F-Zero would make a decent series, I think, though.
If it was anime, I think that would be a good anime. Yeah, I would watch that as an anime.
Sort of like a cross between Scott Pilgrim, Death Race, that kind of thing.
Yes, exactly
maybe.
that. Yes, exactly. Dave says, Dave checks notes. All of my notes just say, Max is short. I hate it here. Pete needs paying more money. There should be less mic and more hat. Mike's hat was glorious.
Dave, I do need more money.
Max,
let me find,
look at
find
that
the
hat.
camera.
That is a really good hat, Mike. That's a great
is.
hat. As far as Mags being short, Mags is the perfect height for me. Jack Tendo says Pikmin would be.
Hold on. Whilst on the subject, I mean, obviously Mag isn't here to defend himself.
No, he's away.
Is he a motorboat enthusiast?
Let's just say it's the perfect height. Oh, please, April, get here fast. He's coming in April. I'm not going to say anymore. Jack Tendo says Pikmin would be a YouTube series of shorts. Yes, I agree with that.
Which they've done anyway. Oh,
yeah.
webisodes. There we are.
Yeah.
I believe it's cool.
Then Dave says I have the same hat. Oh, very good. But Mike's hat is very like high quality. I like it a lot. Then Dave says
Sencho, you can't backflip. You can't backflip in the game.
That's a big deal to Pete.
Yeah, I went back and played it on the freaking 3D collection. It was awful. It was a piece of shit.
Oh, goodness.
I've tried playing the 3D collection, Super Mario Sunshine on 3D collection. I struggle with it.
I mean, that 3D collection was a piece of crap anyway.
Never played it. I probably
I'm talking about I'm talking about the 3D All Stars collection on Switch.
That's
it was
absolutely
awful. It was terrible.
I mean, I enjoyed playing Mario 64 again, and I beat Galaxy twice as Mario and Luigi.
That was freaking dumb that you had to use the touchscreen to pick up the star bits. That was so stupid.
I will say this.
Makes sense.
The only way, and yes, you can make fun of me for it, the only way I could beat Nintendo 64, Super Mario 64 was on an emulator with the save states. I couldn't do the controls on the 64 controller. I just was not. I hate the 64 controller. I mean, we've talked about it before. I know. I'm not good at it. I'm not. So
it is a niche controller, I must admit.
Oh, I just did not gel with it.
I don't think anyone gelled with it unless you had free hands.
Right? Because it had the extra fiery button in the middle, and I don't know. It was very difficult for me. So the only way
for certain
beat
games, it was great. For certain games, it was really nice.
Monster
for Smash
Jam,
64, it was actually really great.
Oh.
Having the shield right behind, behind your the analog stick was actually really good.
I tried. I did try. Um, Dave says, yes, Mags enjoys sticking his head between fun bags and making weird noises. That's why he kept getting kicked out of IKEA. Yes, that's why. And then Centro says, I'll prepare a 1-hour presentation on how complex the sunshine movement is and then show students at university. Which Dave says.
This is his
also,
TED
he
Talk.
didn't. Also, he did not have the long jump. He did not have the long jump. The friggin' long jump.
That's why he used flood, wasn't it? That kind of like hover in the air.
Yes,
That
that's
was
exactly.
Exactly what I'm saying. He lost
Look.
options for the flood. It was stupid.
I enjoyed Sunshine. Do I enjoy it as much as
To be
Odyssey
fair, I mean,
or
have you
Wander?
carried a bottle of water on your back, Pete? That's going to weigh you down,
Yes, I
isn't it?
have.
You know, if you're going to try and do a long jump with that, let alone a backflip.
Oh no! Dave is starting more challenges. First of all, Cincho said, well, no, Dave says Pete will perma ban you to Cincho for bringing up Sunshine. To which Cincho says, only if he beats me in Tekken, which, again, we're all waiting
Which is an unfair fight. He's had several more hours than I have already.
Excuses. And then...
Yes, I live on them.
Yeah, me too. Dave says, hey, Pete, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, and then runs away.
He's literally dropped a grenade in. Thank you. My advent calendar would prove otherwise.
That's true. I gave that to him. That's true. We have an entire
It's still on
episode
my
about
desk.
that. Yes.
I will reiterate. Okay, so
Yes.
Die Hard is not a Christmas movie in the sense that you only watch it on Christmas. It is a movie you can watch every day.
Yeah, I agree.
regardless.
I can watch it anytime I want.
Mike is correct there. Yes.
But why would I have an advent calendar of Die Hard if it wasn't
true.
a Christmas movie?
Check out Happy Hour episode 4 where we discuss Die Hard in detail with Max. Oh, and Dave says, suck it, Pete. Cincho says, what are you even talking about? So
I don't even know anymore. It's tired. I'm old and I'm cranky.
I think we'll wrap the show part up and then we'll have our after show where we get to be goofy and funny and talk about Die Hard. Is it a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Pete, did you have anything you wanted to add to the show?
Well, we'll just do some
yes.
wrapping up of everything. So,
And some
Timeless Housekeeping, that's what I meant. Timeless Gaming Convention, 14th of August in Arcade Club in Bury. Going to be a great event. We're going to be there ourselves, me and Kiley. Hopefully Mike Tendo should be there as well. Hopefully it's going to be good.
Dave says it's his.
So long as Dave don't turn up.
Dave will be there.
I'm joking. It'll be a great event because Dave is there.
It's going to be so fun.
But remember, 15% off at a checkout using the code RAPID24. If you've missed it, if you've missed it in the episode, it is currently in the show notes for the episode. Yes. If you're audio, or on YouTube as well. WASD next month.
Yes.
Fast approaching. We will be there. We're currently in the progress of organising a meetup. So if you're interested, there is a message currently on the Rapid Reviews Discord on the meetup section via the fans. So please let us know via there if you're planning on coming. It is likely to be on the Saturday, which is the 27th of April, I believe it is.
Yes.
So we need to think of a time and a place. So
Mags might be.
We're looking at potentially doing it in a pub round the corner, but it is a 21s and over. So if you're under 21, we may need to organise something different. So please let us know if you're planning on coming.
I'm sure yes. I'll get carded immediately for being under 21. Oh, it looks like Metroid might have won the
Metroid did win.
Yes.
It did.
Absolutely. Should have.
So, yeah, but that's it from us. But we'll update you on the meetup plans for sure once we've finalised them.
Yes.
trying to get Kylie to organise anything. Quite difficult.
Uh,
She
to
still
be
hasn't even told me her plans for travel.
to be fair, where WASD is concerned, WASD, I am waiting on Max. As soon as he tells me what his plans are, then I'll know my plans. And then I might be hanging with Pete. And then, oh my goodness, Nana says, congratulations, Metroid is won with 2 votes. Well, yes. I was going to say 50.
Mainly because I can't vote, I can't see the chat.
We'll call it 5 votes because we all said the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Dave says, well done, everyone except Pete, who doesn't have a clue about films. Oh! Shots fired. Which we are going to reference Pete's other podcast here in a second. Citro says, no meetup section for you then, Jenny, because she's not over 21. Poor Jenny.
Oh.
Dave says, wait, I know Mac's plans, Kylie. Do you, Pete? Oh, do you, Dave? Look, you're acting like Pete. I called you Pete. Do you, Dave? Do you know Max's plans? Jenny says, I'm over 21. If you don't look a day over 21. Give me the meet up, MEAT. And then Dave says, I do. I'm his bloody manager, woman. Well, he hasn't told me, and I'm a different rank from manager. Anyway. Mike, do you want to tell us where we can find you, but also plug anything? This is your opportunity. Spill your guts.
Plug anything? Is that because I'm
Please
ready
don't.
to become an electrician?
There you go. Exactly that.
I, along with my brother, run the website MikeTendo64.com, where we cover news, reviews, personal views, interviews, giveaways, and so much more on all things Nintendo related. We also have the YouTube channel. We're on Blue Sky too.
Ooh.
And you can also find us on X. It is at MikeTendo64.
Very nice.
I should probably plug the Blue Sky and actually log on to it at some point again. Thank you, Dave.
True.
I said I'm on it. I didn't say I used it.
Yeah, Dave kindly posted the website in the chat for everyone, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's almost like he's being paid.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Almost.
crazy, right?
Friend of the show. Pete, what about you? Want to plug your different things? Many different hats that you wear?
I don't have many other things to plug except the Never Watchers podcast, the film and TV based podcast where we cover Marvel. Initially, it was the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but we have branched out into other things. Soon enough,
because the Marvel Cinematic Universe wasn't expansive enough.
Well, we're actually running very short of stuff to cover now, so we just recently released the episode on What If Season 2. That came out a couple of days ago, so please go and give that a listen to see what I thought about it. We are actually, so I'm going to reveal this on this podcast. Next up, we are doing Does the Movies.
Is this a world premiere, Pete?
No, one of them is world premiere. Next up for us for films, we are doing a double part.
Ooh.
Our first double part, where we are covering Dune Part 1 and 2.
Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. Okay.
I didn't see the first part, so I get to see that soon.
Right.
And, well, we're calling it, a double feature. But actually, we're going to be venturing into the world of books soon enough as well.
Okay.
Because a book recently just arrived on my doorstep, The Reign of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where we'll be covering that in full.
Okay.
Where it will be talking about everything from the preconception to it, to everything that's happened since, including some background stuff that people didn't know about during the time of the MCU being made.
I find
so. Is this a new podcast called The Never Readers?
Exactly.
No, it'll be on the Never Watchers, but we're gonna kind of like what me and Kylie did with the Satario Water book. We're gonna cover it in sections, basically stuff that we have covered as such.
Dave gave MikeTendo64.com a shout out in chat, so thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Dave, can I be on that
Thank you, Dave.
podcast at some point?
Dave says, "Can I plug my new podcast? It's called Kiley is Crap. Episode 27 goes out tomorrow." Kiley stole his bank card and gave everyone wine. Let's see. Oh, Dave says books. You can teach Kiley to read. No one can teach me to read, Dave.
I never learned to read.
Wayne's World reference.
What are these strange markings? Words.
Oh gosh. And then Nana says, yeah, there's a lot of that stuff. Iron Man 1 and 2 barely came out. And then Dave says, never readers like Kiley in my messages. It's true, I don't read his messages.
Don't worry, Dave. We've been doing this show for nearly 5 years and she never reads my messages either.
It's not a joke. There's only one person whose messages I read.
Gee, I wonder who.
He is not here with us at this moment in
He's
time.
not, but he's in my phone.
I mean, he's small enough to fit in there.
Oh, come on now.
You let yourself right into that
I
one.
did.
Come on.
I did. He's working so hard this weekend. But anyway, Dave says he's in my phone too. Sinjo says, don't worry, Kiley. We'll counter his show with a new reality TV dating show called Links at Twinkening. I knew I was going to say it right. Twinkening. Dave says, you aren't that special, Kiley. Oh. Wait, we're going to end this show. We'll go to the next part. Oh, I don't know about that, Dave. Ask Mags. He might say I might be a little bit special. And yes, Dave, you're in my phone too. How am I there and here? It's
right.
true.
Anyway, let's end
We are
it.
wrapping this portion up. We want to thank Mike so much for joining us. It has been an amazing time. We always enjoy having friend of the show, Mike Tendo, with us.
Yeah, thank you
You're very
much.
welcome.
Absolutely.
We may need to hit you up in a few weeks when that episode is ready to come out of the oven.
It's true.
Emotional damage.
Okay.
Silence. Great for a podcast.
It wasn't
you
actual.
can't have awkward silence.
No, here's the thing. It wasn't actually awkward silence. I have.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay.
A stream deck.
Yes.
So I can play sounds, but you guys can't hear it, which sucks so bad.
Yeah, sorry, Dave. I don't have the emotional damage anymore.
It's me,
Kylie
just
does.
me.
Emotional damage.
I just played that, Mike. I just played it in the silence.
Yeah.
But again, I do thank you, Mike, for giving your time to us. And yes, in a few weeks, we're going to have that big giant story. It's going to be amazing. And we do want your opinions on that. So we're going to wrap up this portion. But if you're listening to this and you've never checked us out on twitch.tv, come check us out at twitch.tv/rapid reviews. We get a little bit wild and crazy after and before the show, and which we're going to do now.
Just remember as well that if you are unable to watch live, the VOD does go available on YouTube at the same time as the audio version that goes on the podcast players. So if you want to see our mugs rather than listening to our dulcet tones, you can do that over at YouTube.
Well, Pete's dulcet tones. Mine's more whiny. Yes, again, thank you, Mike, for joining us, and thank you, chat, for joining us. You guys are always amazing. Stick around as we do our post show. But for now, we will see you and talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thus ends the podcast portion of the show. Since you did the hug bot, I love it so much.
Well, folks, I'm going to have to love you and leave you. I can't stick around for the
I
chat
know.
as much as I would love to.
Yes, you're an hour
that's
I
ahead
don't
of
know
us.
if it was seen in the video, but my partner did appear a couple of times behind me saying,
I know.
Yeah, I know. Sorry,
Mike
we took
is-
a lot of your time.
For those who don't know, Mike is like an hour ahead of us. He's in a completely different country, so yes, that's completely
and I got to get up
understandable.
early in the morning.
Yes,
And yet
yes,
he
yes,
still
yes.
doesn't have a tan.
No, funnily enough.
But we do thank you so much, Mike. It has been so much fun. This was a great episode.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's a pleasure and an honor as always, guys. Love hanging out with you.
Friend of
Thank
the
you very
show.
much. Forever
Yes.
friend of the show.
Yes, forever friend. I love that.
My friend. Fred.
Ooh, Fred.
All right. Night, guys.
All right.
See you later,
Bye,
mate.
Mike. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I got to turn things off. So, chat, keep talking.
Yeah, I'll be back in a second as well.
That's okay. We're only going to be here for a few minutes because guess what? I drank an entire bottle of wine and plus, a redeemed full glass, which means my bladder is like, I have to go. But
Okay,
yes.
I can hear you again now.
Dave says I just have 5 full-length ads in a row. Is that revenge, Kai, for me calling you crap? Yes. Sub right now, and you won't have those ads.
Yeah, you won't have ads if you sub to the channel.
Nana says great episode.
But then again, he did spend a lot of money, so now he's having to pirate games. So you know.
That's true. He also spent a lot of money on me and my wine.
That's
1
what
month
we were
ago
talking about.
today, which is crazy to think about. Let's see. Great episode, Nana says. Sorry, I wasn't talking too much. My mother had King Richard on, and I was distracted. Well,
Is that King Richard, the Will Smith movie about the Serena sisters?
Oh, I'm interested to know that.
Not
too.
Serena, the Williams sisters. Sorry, my bad.
I'm interested to know that.
Emperor Carrot every single time seems to come
Oh,
through right at the end.
right at the end. It's true. Let's see. Dave says, Pete, let's just get pissed at Wazdi and annoy Kiley.
Well, I'll just do that whilst being sober anyway. It's
I was
fine.
gonna say I'll be drunk, Mike. Mike.
Oh
Dave.
my god.
I'll be drunk anyway, Dave. So, and probably from your bank card. So, but Max will be there. Nana says the Will Smith film already. Yeah. I mean, film. Yeah. Emperor Carrot says,
I thought it was decent.
Drunk already. I'll tell you right now, Emperor Carrot, I have had an entire bottle of wine plus 1 redeemed Chugfest glass from this full bottle. So I'm a little bit, it depends, a little bit.
Or as the Irish would usually say, I'm pished.
Yes, I'm pissed. At the end of the rainbow. But, yes. So I'm gonna play this again because I'm very proud that I did that.
Emotional damage.
Do you know who helped me put emotional damage on my stream?
Let me guess. Would it be a short man?
Look, he's not short to me. I don't know why people keep calling him short. He's perfect size to me. And I'm 5'10", so that tells you whatever that tells you.
You like short men.
I do like short
you
men.
like
I do.
You like little men that you can put put in your pocket and chuck around.
I'm not gonna lie.
We'd established this a long time ago.
It's true, before Max even came on the show.
Exactly.
And Emperor Carrot says, need to take your own supply of wine to
You love them as far as you can throw them.
Oh, which is very, very far.
There you go.
And then he says, what she said. Nana says, Max is just going to end up Edward Elric.
I understood that reference.
Stop calling me short. He's really not short. I'm not kidding, you guys.
Funnily
You've
enough,
seen
one of the
pictures
very
of me and him.
A few animes I have actually watched is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I do love Full Metal Alchemist. I do. Oh, Dave. I can't read that out loud. Max is half the length of his I'm not touching. Oh, well,
I mean, you probably already have, but, you
I'm
know,
not commenting on that,
just-
which isn't that impressive when you consider his. Nope, that's not true, Dave. That's not true.
Is it like Austin Powers and Goldmember? My God, you're a
Tripod.
tripod.
That's not a joke. Cincho says Kylie can throw Max 8.5 meters. Dave says I regret nothing. Emperor Carrot says small in stature, big in heart. That's so true. So true, Will. It's so true. Dave says, oh God, Mag with a chest wig. Just for people to know, I didn't write that. That was Pete writing that.
No, it's Kylie. What are you talking
No.
about? She has control of the chat.
No, not right now.
I can only see it. What are we naming this episode, by the way, guys?
Oh, Dave says Austin Maggers. Oh, I'm trying
Wouldn't
to
it be
remember.
better as Mag Powers, though?
Oh my gosh, that doesn't make sense. You said something earlier that did make sense, but I don't
Which was?
remember now. Because Jack Tindo redeemed a third glass of chugging wine, so I'm barely conscious right now. Cincho says, I mean, Matt can just wrap it around his thighs. Dave says we are calling this episode Complete Bollocks featuring Mike Tindo.
Yes, because that's really going to work in an algorithm, isn't it?
Cincho says...
I mean, considering that our episode last week was called Tekken the Piss.
I know, that was so good. It did really well, too. Cincho says...
What the fucking audios it didn't.
Yeah, Will says Magnum. P.I. Dave says, oh God, Cincho. Even I think that's a bit much. Tekken the Piss, so good. That was last week's. We can't do it again. Oh, goodness. Cincho says, Magnum is so good. Dave says, Magcom PP. Look, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. Cincho, you might have to come up with a name because I got nothing. Cincho says, oof, the pressure. That was Nana, by the way. Yeah. God, I'm trying to remember what you said earlier. Emperor Carrot says, lucky he isn't lurking. He isn't lurking on the show. But he is in my He's busy right now. He's very busy. He's working a
Probably
gig.
for the best as well.
Yeah, he's very, very working a gig right now.
He's very working a gig.
He's very working a gig because I haven't drank any wine at all. Dave says, let's change the subject to anything other than Mag, but that's my favorite subject, Dave.
But, who are we kidding?
Yeah. That's what the whole bottom half of this show is about. Dave says, it always comes back to the short arse with the figure 8 pee-pee. And it says, the Dragon Balls of news. It was something like that. Oh, Nan, I wish I could remember what we came up with earlier. And Cincho's, now he's the subject of #degraded. And then Nana says that's the best I could come up with. God, what did we say? It was something good. We did say something earlier that was good.
We did. Should have noted it down earlier.
I forgot.
I mean, you forget 5 minutes ago.
Well, that's true. I'm worse than a goldfish. I don't remember anything.
I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm actually trying to see if I can think of a name for this episode.
Be fair,
because I've got to edit this.
I was gonna say Pete's actually hung on quite good. It's like 9:50, Pete.
I'm surprised, and I've worked today as well.
I know. Very good. Cincho says the Dragon Balls of the industry. There was something we said earlier about.
The thing is though, is that because of Akira Toriyama, I don't particularly want to have anything overly degrading.
Right. I mean,
I want to
get
be
that.
respectful, you know.
What did we say earlier? I really can't remember.
I mean, nothing like he's dragging his balls anywhere and stuff
No,
like
don't
that,
be
you know.
dragging his balls. Oh, goodness. But there was something. I don't remember.
No, I don't either.
I think it would be good if we can, to mention him. Because it's, he deserves it.
That's a good one, actually, man. I'm gonna take that. The hidden blocks of news.
I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'm taking it for now. I mean, Sencho's named the last couple of episodes, so,
Well, yes, he has. But I like what Emperor Carrot says, which is he's a god in the industry will never be topped.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we had a very somber moment where we didn't make jokes. We actually were very,
No.
very respectful.
Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. And then it's like, yeah, that's why I'm like, cancel Dragon Ball. Like, no one's going to be able to fill the hole he's left. I think he's left notes, though, from what I've read, for them to go forward with it. Which is good. I have watched Dragon Ball Z, but, like, just a little section. Because it kept going on, but I did watch a little section.
I think I might have watched Dragon Ball Z abridged.
Yeah.
Or some episodes of abridged.
Yeah.
Not enough to say that I'm a fan of Dragon Ball, but the fact is that I've seen the art everywhere. Like, you can't help but not see it everywhere.
Dave says, let's bring it back to focus. Mags is dragged away
and then
screaming.
it's dragged, yeah.
Mags is a complete, adorable, wonderful person that I absolutely am crazy over. 4 weeks, guys. 4 weeks.
Mags is a person we wouldn't talk about had it not been for a convention that I went to. Format. That's the one. Format. I keep.
Yay, Mike Tendo! Yay! Oh goodness. Sincho says Dragon Ball Original is so much better than Z. Nana says I watched about 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Z Kai, and that's it. Emperor Carrot says his work will be up there with Akira. Yeah, 100%. Before I even finish that, in terms of how much an influence it has. Exactly. We actually talked about his legacy. That legacy is just, I don't think you can compare it to anything currently. Huge legacy. And then Jenny says less than 4 weeks. Less than 4 weeks till Max is here. We might do a show. We might do a Sunday show. Dave says, I was at Format. Pete, did you meet Dave?
You was at Format? I didn't know you then, so it was a bit different.
Uh-huh. And then Sincho says, Kiley will start the Max convention. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It's already been started.
Build it and she will come.
More ways than one.
I know, that's why I said it. That was bad.
Sincho says rename it. Dave says rename Timeless to Venerate Mag, so pantsless. Oh, guys. Oh, you just don't know. Emperor Carrots, then Timeless. Yeah, exactly. Dave Johnson says yes. Sincho says if there's no Dragon Ball, there would be. What I want to say is I'm in 100% agreement with Sincho before I read this. Yes. If there was no Dragon Ball, there would be no One Piece, Naruto, who I love, Bleach, One Punch Man, who I love, Demon Slayer, yes, and the list never stops.
A lot of anime would have never made it to Western shores had it not been for Dragon Ball. The scope is incredibly massive. There is a reason why even normies know what Dragon Ball Z is, or Dragon Ball is. It's ridiculous. The scope is. It took anime to a whole new level. Like.
Well, that's what Jesse was saying earlier. It's gone mainstream. Because you hear even what I refer to as non-nerds talking about, Dragon Ball Z and other anime and stuff like that. I'm not joking. His legacy is unmatched at this point. It just is. Dave says, Pete, actually, I walked past you and even said hello twice at format. You ignored me. Oh, no.
Can I be perfectly honest, Dave? I'm just going to be honest here. I travelled all day.
Because Mags ignored him, too.
I was utterly exhausted. I barely knew what I was doing there. I spent probably about an hour and a half there and was like, I'm too tired even for this.
And then he found Mags for me.
Like, the only person that I really spoke, the only people that I spoke to was Front Page Rob, who was in our chat last week, and Mags, and that was basically it. And then spoke to a guy playing Bishi Bashi.
Oh, see, here's the funny thing you guys don't know. Pete came home from that, and he goes, Kiley, I have a person I want us to have a guest on our show. And I was like, Pete, I'm not in the mood for guests. I'm very sad right now because somebody broke my heart. I don't want guests. I don't want anything. And Pete was like, no, Kiley, this is different. Please, we need to do this. And I said, okay, Pete, just for you. And then Max showed up on our show the next week. And the rest is history.
And he's been on several times before.
Yeah.
Oh, it's after.
Yeah.
Mostly because I thought he was coming on to discuss actual important things.
No.
But Kiley had co-opted me into getting him on for ulterior motives.
For me to have fun. And now I have fun all the time. And I'm going to have fun in 4 weeks. And then Dave says...
I was at the May one, Dave. The May.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, so weird to think about. Centro says rename Timeless. Dave says rename Timeless to venerate Mags. So pants. Oh, I said that earlier. Emperor Carrot says then Timeless. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, guys. I was a little bit behind. Centro says, oh, yes, I know. I've seen this. It's so popular in Mexico that cartel activity went down when a new episode was on TV. I've read that too, which is insane. Emperor Carrot says, DBZ, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Are my first animes. I think Pokemon would be most of our first animes, depending on your age group. Definitely was one of my first.
Pokemon was probably mine.
Yeah. Dave says, agreed about his legacy. I'm joking. Wait, are we talking about that last format? The one from October?
No, that's what I've just dealt with. Yeah,
I was
at the...
the one I worked with, Max. Unfortunately, Dave says sexy fun. Am I right, Kiley? Oh, yes. Cincho says, I know what Kiley would wish for after gathering the 7 Dragon Balls. Do you, Cincho? Do you? Yes, you do. Dave says she only needs 2 balls.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Please.
I didn't even read that in the chat.
I need April to get here so fast. Emperor Cat says, feel like Pete is third wheeling at this point.
I've been third wheeling for the last year.
I was going to say, Pete has literally said that. We did several episodes of Happy Hour. We did 4 episodes of Happy Hour where Pete says he is third wheeling.
I mean, I joined a couple of them, and I probably shouldn't have been there as long as I was when the process of moving, because the whole point of me not being there was because I was moving. But hey,
it's true.
Look, but what she doesn't tell you, and I will tell this to the people, is I messaged and after about a week or so, and I went after I'd got my internet, and I was like, Kiley, I've got internet now. I'm kind of bored. Can I come back? And you were like, no, you're fucking not. No, you're fucking not.
I was like, no, this is me and Mags' time.
I'm pretty sure I heard you screaming from here. Across the sea.
Probably true.
You were like, don't you dare fucking take this away from me.
It just says, not even Mags can break that rule, Dave. Dave says, I did say I regret nothing. Dave says, imagine if Mags and Dave came on the podcast with you two. We need to do that, Pete. It is about time for that.
Mags and Dave come on?
Yeah.
What? It will just be basically be you and Mags in the corner and me and Dave sitting here going, what the fuck is this?
Exactly. I'd be like, Mags, you're so hot. What makes you so hot? Let's talk about it. You think I'm joking. That's 90% of my messages to Mags. Thank you for being so hot. Why are you so hot? Then Cincho says, Kylie is definitely C18 and Pete is Krillian. Dave says, do you think that Kylie says that as she gets into bed? This is Mags and my time. Oh, Dave. Oh, you don't know what happened in Nottingham. Cincho says, no, wait, no, Mags is definitely Krillian.
Why are you saying Krillian? It's Krillin.
Krillin! I don't know how to pronounce your words.
Look, I don't even watch Dragon Ball and I know how to pronounce that name.
Well, Dave says, oh, I do know. Do you, Dave? For Carrot, Will says, feels like a dysfunctional marriage. Dave says,
No, at this point,
I know
it feels like
Dave, you
it
don't
feels
know
like I'm a
nothing.
father saying, no, you cannot see that man. He's bad for you.
Oh no, he's very good for me. Cincho's, now I'm gonna spell it Krillian. I'm not good at reading stuff. Oh goodness, but we should think about having Dave and Mags on. It would be fun. Nana says to Cincho, saying that Mags is definitely Krillin. Mm. Oh god, yeah, you're right. Kylie's Android 18 in this case. Dave says we're such a fucked up family unit here. Yes, we are. It's the best dysfunctional family.
Isn't most family units fucked up
we
in some way?
Fun back in dysfunctional. And Cincho says, Pete, it's definitely Piccolo, and I know who exactly that is.
I know who that is too.
Yep, exactly. Oh, goodness. Cincho says, Mr. Grumpy Mumpy. And Dave says, too true, Pete. Well, as we wrap this episode up, do you have anything you want to say to Max, who's going to be watching this, hopefully, eventually?
Hi, Max. Sorry for your 8-inch whatever.
8.5.
Stature.
Thank you very much.
I meant his stature, not his penis size.
Sorry. You really can't tell that we're that much different. I'm going to be honest. We're not that much different in height. People would be shocked.
Oh, apparently Big Jesse is Master Roshi.
Oh.
What, the biggest horny bastard in the entire show.
There you go. That works.
See? I know Master Roshi.
Oh, goodness. Dave says, he said, stature, Kylie. What? Kylie and Mag have the same size, yeah, I don't have one of those unless it belongs to Max. I'll just say, nope, I'm not gonna say that, except it's perfect. Dave says, oh, for fuck's sake. April, you need to get here. And I don't mean April from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But yes.
What, you mean April O'Neil?
Yes. No, I don't mean April O'Neil. I mean the month of April.
No, you missed what I said. I was talking about the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where she's fat, so I called her April O'Neil.
Oh gosh. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yes. Dave says, Pete, I'm sorry. Cincho says, can't even sit on Mags's lap with that wraparound going on. Oh, I can sit on Mags's lap. I'll just say that.
It's a very short chair, though.
Doesn't matter. I don't need anything. And for a carrot, Will says, Pete, just run far away. Cincho says, wrapped around the legs 8.5 times, 8.5 times. Dave says, I am now going to forever refer to Mags as wraparound. Go watch 2 VODs ago on my personal channel where we talk about the name. Cincho says, or figure 8.5. I love how our post-show banter is always about Mags. It's my favorite part of the show.
Oh, gee, my favourite part of the show is not actually doing the fucking podcast that you've been doing for 4 years. It's actually talking in the post show about your favourite subject.
I'm joking, but I am going to let him know. Don't worry. Dave says the main fucking show is about Max, too. Yeah, he does like that. So, Joe, wrap it around.
Max, see what you've turned this woman into.
He knows. I'm #1 super fan.
Simp.
Oh,
You're the #1 simp.
I am the #1
Wilton.
simp. Proud simp. I have said that on social media, and he has responded to it. So there you go. Emperor Carrot says, wondering who's going to relay this whole chat back to Mags on his next stream. It's okay. I'm going to relay it to him tonight when he messages me.
All right. He'll probably go and watch some of it himself.
Yeah, he will. Dave says, Pete, I'm going to give you a slot on main stage at Timeless to air your grievances about Kiley and Mag and the wraparound.
I don't need the main stage. I'll just walk around the whole time just going, what the fuck is this? Why am I here? What the hell?
Why did I agree to this?
Yeah, because it's literally just going to be you slobbering on him the whole fucking time.
Well, I mean, yes, I will be wearing.
No.
I will be wearing my #1 Mag Superfan T-shirt. But let's not kid ourselves.
No, he's going to be busy all day.
He's going to be super busy. He's not even going to know who I am.
Until about 11 o'clock at night.
Yes. Then he'll know very well who I am. But yes, Emperor Carrot says Mag versus Pete in the car park octagon. I would pay to see that. Citrus says don't take.
Look, let's be honest here. One, I'd probably eat him alive.
I don't know.
I'm about double his size.
He's feisty though, Pete. He is feisty.
He might be feisty, but you forget I'm gymming at the moment.
That is true.
Oh, hey Tom.
And then, Cincho says, don't take post-show away from us, Pete, especially when everyone had to hold it in because a guest was on. Dave says, I will be busy too, guys. I will be working hard too. Cry is true. He'll be at the front door. Hilza.
Oh, yeah, that is a personal person. I know.
Ooh, very good,
No,
Pete.
I can only apologise, Hilza. Sorry, mate. Sorry. We actually did record the podcast earlier on, and it was about games. This is the post show where things get a bit mental.
Me too. It's true. It's my time to shine. Pete gets to shine during the podcast, but the post show is my time to shine.
God will be up soon anyway. You can go back and check all of that out.
But also, hi, Hilza. Dave says it's about a short man, short one. He's not short. Have you seen a picture of us together? Of course you have. There's like several of them. But he's not that much shorter than me.
Well, I was saying anyway, I would eat him alive. I'm double his size anyway. Second of all, I'm going to the gym at the moment. He might be feisty.
He is
feisty. And thirdly, he's going to be too busy to even want to do that anyway.
That is 100% true.
And then by the time that he's not busy, it's going to be 11 o'clock. He's going to be run off his feet, and all I have to do is push him over, and that's it. It's done.
Well, hopefully, he will. Nope. Not gonna say that.
I know where you're going with that. For Christ's sakes.
Oh, Cincha says it's the best part that never shows up on VODs. Exactly. Emperor Carrot says, Kiley wants to shine something. It's true, I do. Dave says, Pete, run! Cincha says, all I'm going to say is when Germans are around, the wiener talk is going to come out. I mean, and Max and I are talking about possibly going to Gamescom. It's still only a possibility, but you know, we might hang out in Germany for a bit. Dave says Mags and his wiener schnitzel. Oh, the stories I could give you.
Far too many of them.
This is my favorite part of this show. Dave says, no, Kiley. Just tell me after on WhatsApp. Citra says pita sauerkraut. And Emperor Carrot says cocktail sausage. Uh, Pete, you know you love podcasts where we talk about Mags's cocktail sausages. It's your favorite. It's
Can we
my
end this
favorite.
now, please? Can we end this,
We
please?
can end this now.
I'm-
Mostly-
It's now hit me how tired I actually am.
I mean, it's after 10. I've drank an entire bottle of wine and a glass because Mike Tindo's brother redeemed it.
Yeah.
And Dave says, "What about a good old banger?" And Emperor Carrot says, "Sorry, Pete. I don't know when Mags is going to watch this. I know it will eventually happen because he hasn't quite finished the other episode. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this. Is all I'm saying." Dave says, "Stop talking about Mags." I literally can't, Dave. Like, if I stop talking about Mags, I think that my lungs will no longer work. But Pete, do you want to throw anything out there before we end this?
I don't know. Most things have already been said.
Sid just says, "Hi, Mags." He will be here eventually.
No, I'll probably just reiterate again. Timeless, obviously.
Yes.
You know, in
I mean,
August.
seriously, yes.
Yeah, Timeless in August. We're going up there. It's going to be in
It's
Arcade
fun.
Club in Bury. It's going to be a fun event. I'm really looking
It
forward
is.
to it. I won't say that. Not that.
I want to see, what is it?
No, it's not that. I'm gonna make my opinions known about a certain area of the country. Well, I better not.
Oh gosh,
Better not.
no, Pete, not now.
Anyway,
Oh goodness.
next month, WASD in London.
Yes.
We're gonna organise a meetup. Keep an eye on the Rabbit Reviews Discord.
It's true.
I'm being urged to say it. Manchester's a shithole. I don't care.
Well, I'll read chat then. Dave says, "New game. Every time Mags is mentioned, I take a shot. Is dead by the second news article. That's for sure."
I don't even think you'll make it to the second
No,
article. I
you're
think you
gonna
won't
be-
even barely make it to the first.
You're gonna be real dead, Dave. It's my favorite subject. Centro, yeah, I'd rather play Russian roulette at that part. Better odds. It's true. Dave, I am not looking forward to Timeless. Yes, you are. I have to sit in on the team meetings. Yes, you do. They are boring. Also, hi, Mag. Yeah, he will be here. Don't worry. Hilsa says, "Do it. Do it."
I did.
Emperor Carrot, looking forward to seeing you at Timeless to Dave. Yes, it's going to be so, like, in all honesty, it's going to be fun. I'm messing around here, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll explain this to Hilza in chat. Timeless is a gaming event that's being
Yes.
hosted by a friend of the show called Mags, the guy with the 8.5er. The
I'm
guy
his
who's-
biggest fan.
Yeah. So it's in Arcade Club in Bury in Manchester on the 14th of August, where we will both be going. It's
Yes, we will be there.
Arcade Club is actually Europe's largest arcade, I believe. It's set over 4 floors and is currently
Yeah.
expanding. I'm looking forward to going to play all those
400
games.
games, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Loads of old arcade machines, loads of consoles
Yeah.
set up. There's going to be plenty of events going on. So I will grab a link in for that so I can post it in the chat. I forget that we have new people sometimes, so my
Yes.
bad.
Dave says, "All wonderful people there, and Kiley, and an endless bottle of wine that Dave will buy me all night." Mostly because Mags will expect him to. Hilza says, "It sounds cool." And then Sintra says, "A fan is of the normal definition, Kiley. You are so much more." Well, Max does refer to me as Uber fan. So.
Yeah. Hilza, there is WASD that's happening in London next month,
Yes.
25th to the 27th of April. That
We'll be
is
there
a
too.
convention that was hosted by the previous guys who used to run EGX Rest,
Yes.
and it has mostly a focus on indie gaming, but they do have a couple of AAA games there as well. But that's set over 3 days in Truman Brewery in London.
Yes, that's correct.
So that's also going to be a fun event, which we're going to go to. I can post the links in the chat for that one too.
But I think we're going to wrap it up. Let's rapid reviews as we wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining us. my favorite portion of the Mags part of the podcast. I'm only saying that to wind Pete up, by the way.
I know you are.
Partly.
It's fine.
But,
Or so you say.
yeah. Sinjo says, Kiley, the stalker, as in the STALKER,
Very
the
good.
game. Stalker.
Very good.
As I always say, you can't stalk the willing. Don't forget, he will be here in April. I'm hoping I can get him down here in my basement and then never let him go. Oh no, it's a clip. Hilza says, even London is a mission for me. Well,
That is very true, yeah. So,
yeah.
what I'll do is I'll try and figure out some that are more closer to you. If there is any that are closer to you, I'll let you know, and I may try and make an appearance as well. Because it's been a long time since I've seen you, mate.
Yeah, and we do talk about games a lot more than normal. Sanchez says we like winding up Pete, and that's really what it comes down to.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but we're going to wrap this one up. And we thank you so much for joining us. Wow, we almost made it 3 hours, which is always a good show. Thank you so much to chat. You guys are amazing. Thank you to our wonderful guest, friend of the show, Mike Tendo. And with that, I think all I have to say is that we will see you next week. Bye.